I do.
Covino and Rich.
Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Turn on that on the radio.
Whoa! Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
All right! I'm feeling ready. You feeling ready or what?
Always ready. Ready player one, Steve Covino. Ready like Fab Five Freddy. Thank you guys for being here. National Women's Day.
What's up, ladies?
Hello, ladies.
International. You forget all that international booty?
I was going to shout them out separately. What's up, my international ladies?
Hello, ladies.
How do's it?
Hey, baby.
Hey.
Want to wrestle?
It's Covino and Rich and Spot. Shout out all the ladies. They may be black, white, American, Indian, or Japanese. Doesn't matter.
Giving Vato nuts?
Bato nods.
Let's go.
And we be rocking out. I like them brown, yellow, Puerto Rican, and Haitian. My name is Steve Covino from the Zulu Nation.
I thought that's where you were going.
All the beautiful ladies.
Well, I paused. I didn't want to interrupt your lyrics. Bing!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball!
I'm reading feedback. I was like, wow, did Aaron Rodgers just stomp all over International Women's Day? Is there late breaking news?
Oh, you didn't see it?
No.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
He signed today.
What did I tell you yesterday?
He signed?
Bow, 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 bow.
Go, Pack, go. You know what's so funny, though, is I've seen, headlines of Aaron Rodgers, but it didn't register to me that they were like updates.
Oh, you were looking at the update that he was at Bakhtiari's Bakhtiari yada yada. He was at Bakhtiari's wedding with Shailene Woodley. So it's like
there's gonna be women.
Batiatis?
I think it's in bad taste that Aaron Rodgers wanted to make this announcement on our day.
it's Women's Day. He had 364 other days.
Is he trying to like steal our shine?
So
Typically Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, I said it yesterday, and it was no big stretch, I mean, of the imagination, but
200 mil.
I think
Yeah.
Cowherd and
it's every scroll I make is Aaron Rodgers.
Stephen A. Smith and every other talking head and Fox and ESPN person was saying the same exact thing. Green Bay is his easiest way to just keep dominating, but it's could he get to the next level?
But 4 years? Because that's what our buddy Becker's saying.
No, it is 4 years. 4 years, 200 mil.
Makes him the highest paid player in league history.
Wow. Incredible. Incredible. So props to him. I'm sorry, while we were doing the show, I'm seeing our feedback scroll by, and our buddy Becker said 4 years, and he had question marks. And I was like, for Aaron Rodgers? On Women's Day? How dare he? But anyway, congratulations to him.
Could he
shout out to all the ladies.
Sneak one more Super Bowl? He has one, but
I am the ladies,
for
man.
a guy of his caliber and a guy that goes practically 13-3, now with the extra game, 14-3, 13-4 every year, you would have thought one more Super Bowl, right? But he has one. You can't take one away from him.
And
but could he
sticking with his team.
Could he sneak one
Staying
more
true.
in? Could he sneak one more in?
I think he could.
You think staying true, you still go by the
Karma.
whole old school, like,
Yeah.
stay with the team?
Yeah, I do. I do. I mean, I don't frown on what Tom Brady did, but there's something to be said about that.
I don't think
the
there is
loyalty.
any more. I agree with
there's
you, old
something
school
cool
style.
about it.
I know, because you're going
That's
to be
what
like,
makes it cool, though.
you're going to be like, well, a guy like Jeter only played for the pinstripes.
That's nice.
Yeah, I get it,
But
but
you think of Cal Ripken, you're like, all right.
that's old school thinking.
What's wrong with that? You don't see it anymore, which makes it special.
No, it is special.
That's all I'm
And
saying.
the fans probably love it too.
When people start playing for all these different teams, it tarnishes their own career. And it's their legacy and career to tarnish. But like I was looking up Bo Jackson's stats, his short-lived baseball stats. And you think of him as a Kansas City Royal. And then he was a White Sox. But do you remember him as an Angel? No. Because nobody wants to remember
Yeah, but that was
someone
his-
at the end like that.
That was his shitty moment. Like, I look at a guy like Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, and I feel like they made the right move. Like,
That's a rarity where someone goes and plays well for another team like that. That's a rarity. That's a short conversation. That's a short list of people.
it's true. I can't argue that.
Tom Brady, Peyton Manning.
Can't argue that. But I do understand free agency doesn't
Game's
register.
changed.
Doesn't
I get it.
register with an older. Not saying you being older, but like I find myself. I said this on Fox the other night. I find myself.
Yeah, but you're making an argument where I have none. All I'm saying is it's nice because we rarely see that. I'm not saying that's the way it should. You're making it seem like I'm saying that's the way it should be.
No, it's nice. I agree.
School.
I'm
I
not,
never said
bro,
that.
I'm not arguing.
Yeah,
it's
but
actually nice.
I never said that. You
It's
put words
nice.
in my mouth.
I agree 100%. It's nice when a guy stays with a team his whole career.
I understand.
But when loyalty and stuff like that, those are not words that are synonymous with sports. That you're as valuable to your team as how good you are.
I do get that.
Because
I
if Aaron
agree.
Rodgers let up a little bit, they would have been like, yo, fucking peace out. Jordan Love, step on up. So,
But you know what you do? You categorize your career with 2 chapters. And there's going to be one chapter of, hey, this is when I was dominant. And then you're going to have the second chapter of, yeah, and this is when I was ass and I went to another team.
Agreed,
At least
bro.
Aaron Rodgers, even if he's ass for the next 4 years, is still that same long and wonderful chapter with Green Bay.
I think when a
if he
star.
played in Denver, you'd be like, yeah, remember when he was in Denver, he was ass.
Yeah, but people are coming up with bunk examples. And I only say that because bunk's the proper word. Like Patrick Ewing as a Sonic or with the Orlando
Bunk.
Magic. Bunk, but that's because Patrick Ewing was done. And no one really wanted him, but it was like, well, it's Patrick Ewing, so we'll put him on a small deal.
Put some people in the seats.
Yeah, we're talking about when a guy is a star and he hits free agency. Like, I take nothing away from Bryce Harper, who's like, yo, I had a good time in Washington. I'm a free agent. Went to Philly.
It's like,
Kershaw.
it's just testing your value.
Where's he going to end up?
Testing the waters.
If Kershaw goes somewhere else and he's a solid top of the rotation guy, are you going to say that tarnishes his Dodgers
I get it.
career?
It's a business. And that's why I'm saying it's just nice to see because it's so rare
You're right.
that someone's going to play their full career on one team.
I'll give you that.
And that's how it looks
I'll
for Aaron
give you
Rodgers. So
that.
you got to respect it. And that's why, to bring it full circle to where we were, I was saying, yeah, karma might give him one more championship because it's rare that someone sticks with one team nowadays.
Oh, no doubt. In
Out
fact,
of loyalty. And it's not just all out of loyalty. I'm sure, they made him the highest paid player and money had something to do with it. But
I'm pretty sure control and money
yeah, big factors.
are a big factor as to why you stay somewhere.
But it's so funny. Aaron Rodgers is in the news every day that like I sort of just scrolled past him without realizing that he signed.
There's a story that he and Shailene Woodley were spotted at that wedding.
Yeah.
But out of that
Doing
story,
the electric slide or
No,
the
out of-
Cupid shuffle?
Out of that story came a video that I want the two of you to recreate. Let me see if you're capable of doing this.
Yeah, let's see.
I would love to see the two of you do this.
Oh, shit.
I can tell you already no.
No, please. I want the two of you. It's all in it's oh wait. It's
By the
all
way, it's very
physics.
homoerotic.
It's all physics and momentum. So I think the two of you
Yeah.
could accomplish it. You have the strength. You
I
can
think
hit the
we
gym.
could, but I don't want to hold Covino. I don't want to go balls to balls with Covino.
No, it's like balls to belly. Go balls to belly.
No, Rich and I made a vow 17 years ago to never go ball to ball.
Yeah, ball to
Come
ball,
on.
not our style.
We vowed to never do that.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyway.
listen, Covino. I'm not gonna. Just so everyone knows, I'm not disagreeing with Covino. It is nice when a guy stays on the same team, but there's different reasons for these things. Like Jeter stayed a Yankee his whole career, and if you remember at the end,
Oh, now it's way cooler. Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, I
Jeter
never
stayed a
really said
Yankee.
anything other than it's nice because we
it's
rarely
nice.
see it.
Jeter stayed a Yankee his whole career, and there's sort of a reason for that. And the reason for that was the Yankees made it impossible for him to leave. Like, we'll pay you, we'll make you, you're the captain. Like, you can't really leave. Like, if you're a star player, they're not going to let you leave. Like Aaron Rodgers, I mean,
I posed the question then, who's the next guy? It's not Russell Wilson. Who's the next guy in sports that's a lifer? Because it's so
now,
rare.
I ask you this, Mike Trout. What if eventually he's like, yo, the Angels stink, and
He's not a lifer.
let's say,
He'll end up a Yankee.
let's say Mike Trout's like, yo, the Angels have done nothing to build around me. I'm the best player. In his mind, he's like, I'm the best player since Mickey Mantle, and no one knows who I am.
He'll see what he's worth. He'll see the dollar signs.
But doesn't he have some ridiculous? Doesn't he have like some 12-year contract? I'm sure there's an out at some point. But if a superstar leaves, I look at it like, they're trying to win. Like people look at it like, oh, look what LeBron did. I think what LeBron did was smart. He tried to win in different places.
Well, they were changing the game. It just stung or hit in a different way back then because we weren't used to that sort of mentality of players calling their shots, which, is the world we live in now. So who's that next lifer? The next lifer.
Burrow? Josh Allen? The guy that's on his team forever?
Giannis? He likes Milwaukee, but
he's loyal, but if Milwaukee
seems like a loyal dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, no one's loyal. If you start losing and there's a free agent market, look at Russell Wilson, who might be a Washington Commander. Kyler Murray already is like, yo, Arizona, step it up or I'm outie. So if you think that the younger mentality is like, yo, I'm sticking around through thick and thin. People want to win. People want to get paid. And I'm not saying that's the right answer, but that's the truth, right?
Short lifespan. Got to make your money while you can.
So Aaron Rodgers sticking to the Green Bay Packers.
Good for him.
Kicking or
Big
sticking?
news.
He's sticking.
Big news. Didn't mean to take away from International Women's Day or anything, but got to make that announcement. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Becker. Thank you, patrons. Welcome to our Patreon.
Do I think Aaron Rodgers is overrated? That's from Stoney. I don't think he's overrated. I think he's postseason.
It's like James Harden. He's like, yeah, he'll get you to the playoffs. Plays solid all year, but can his style of play actually win the big game?
Yeah, I would say James Harden is like Aaron Rodgers because I think Aaron Rodgers is the best example of the best regular season player every year, it seems. Yet he has one stinker in the playoffs, so the team doesn't deliver. And to think that Aaron Rodgers plays at the caliber
is like Aaron Rodgers.
To think that he's played at the caliber he does, it's not even like Aaron Rodgers has lost Super Bowls. He's only made it to the Super Bowl one time, which means, if a guy makes it, you got to at least give a guy like Jim Kelly credit. He lost 4 in a row, but he got them there. Aaron Rodgers only got them there one time, and he's like the best.
He's a great player.
He must have
a bad man.
Spot, can you look up a quick stat, and then we'll be done being nerdy? I bet you Aaron Rodgers
never be done being nerdy.
That's true.
Why would you make these promises?
I can't promise I'll be done being nerdy.
Why would you make promises you can't keep?
Aaron Rodgers. I would
pants on fire.
I would bet you. I bet you Aaron Rodgers has the most NFC Championship losses possibly, or he's got to be in the top 5, top 3 maybe. Who has lost more NFC Championship games? I know like Steve Young couldn't get over the hurdle many times, but Aaron Rodgers might have lost more NFC Championship games than anyone else.
Yeah, I wouldn't debate that.
Because you think about it.
He's a reigning MVP once again because he's that good. But we're in a sport that's measured by winning when it matters.
Yeah. The analogy you would love because you're a big baseball guy.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Donovan McNabb and Steve Young are tied for losing the most.
Can I guess how many?
Yes, you may.
3 or 4.
4. I was going to say 5.
Quattro.
That was a little higher than that.
Yeah.
Quattro.
I know Young lost a bunch.
Well, he's still a great player.
How cute.
Donovan McNabb, I believe, lost 3 in a row of those 4. The Eagles, they lost in the Super Bowl to the Pats that one year, but I think they were in the NFC Championship game year after year. So Philly fans probably thought.
Tied next is Detmer, Favre, and White.
Something about it, though. I think there's something psychological. He's already won the Super Bowl. So
Bono?
Aaron Rodgers has nothing to prove here. But there is something about somebody like let's say Big Papi. You thought I was going to say Jeter, but let's say Big Papi, who rises to the occasion.
Yeah.
And they step up in a different way, and they shine brighter when the lights are bright.
Like a diamond.
And there's something about it. It's an X factor. It's an intangible. And I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers doesn't have it. He's won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have that same sort of magic that a Big Papi has, that a Tom Brady has. And you could relate it to like even your childhood. You knew those kids that you played sports with growing up who were great at the playground and they were really good on your front lawn or really good in gym class. But for whatever reason, when the pressure was on and they were in an actual game, they weren't good. My buddy Barnando would be a great example of that. Barnando, and I'm just trying to make it relatable here, he was a great basketball player, and he was 5'0", wiffle ball player.
100 and nothing.
He weighed 100 nothing
You
pounds.
got nothing.
He was hitting bombs. He was always the fastest kid, but always very skillful, right? When it came down to actual games and playing actual games, yeah, he was good enough to make the team, but always pressed maybe too hard or did something different where he didn't perform the same way. And
I remember that every year when you'd have baseball tryouts in high school.
You knew this.
There was the kid that was great in Little League or Babe Ruth League or like the county team you're on, but he didn't make the high school team. You're like, yo, John didn't make the team again. Because in the high school coach's eyes, he stunk. But when you would play like summer league, he was great.
I think there's a weird pressure that
Some
you
people don't-
subconsciously put on yourself, or you don't rise to that occasion when it matters. There's people that feed off of pressure, and there's people that let pressure defeat them. And of course, you have your moments, right? And I think Aaron Rodgers had his moment where he defeated pressure, but most of the time, the pressure defeats him. And the proof is there.
Yeah.
In the big time losses.
And the one time the Packers did win the Super Bowl, Mark hit us up, and he's right. I remember the year because I was early on dating Sarah, and her and her family are Packers fans. And I remember they snuck into the wild card because they won the last game of the season. And then they just got hot. They were like a 10-6 team that just got hot. Now, when Spot showed that nerd stat that I asked him to pull up, if Aaron Rodgers lost 4 NFC championship games and Favre was also on that list, while they have won 2 Super Bowls in the modern era, like they won the first couple with Bart Starr, but since we've been kids, the Packers won 2 Super Bowls, one with Favre, one with Rodgers, so you can't complain.
Hey, Mary.
Hey,
Mary.
me, Brett.
Hey, Mary. It's me, Brett. Sorry.
But while they did win one with Brett Favre, and they did win one with Aaron Rodgers,
Hey, Mary.
if those 2 quarterbacks are on the top of the list of losing the championship game, that means Packers fans, for as much as they've had success, that stat just shows they were so close so many times and just neither one of those guys could really finish.
It's a team sport, too, so you also have to factor if we're really going to speculate and put it all on the quarterback.
Of course you can't do that.
Maybe they just didn't have enough to
Of course.
put them over the hump.
You could argue that they were so good that they took average teams there, like
but
LeBron.
We've seen people like LeBron James
Take shitty teams pretty far.
do a lot with nothing, do more, win actual championships with nothing. So,
But isn't that
it's
crazy
not
when
all
you
on Aaron Rodgers?
when you think about that? You're right. You could the reverse argument is, well, think of how many mediocre teams maybe Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre took further than they should have went.
Yeah.
But when both of your quarterbacks over the last 25 plus years are guys that lost the most championship games, that means Packer fans probably felt so many times like, oh, close again. Oh, close again. Like the Yankees. There was a time where I think the Yankees had lost more playoff games than anyone else in a while.
I don't remember that.
Like in a decade, I
forget
think
things like that.
I think in the 2000s or 2010s, like the Yankees were the team that made the play, like had the worst playoff record for a while because they would always make it, but there was a stretch where the Yankees haven't won a World Series since 09.
10 years, yeah. So props to Aaron Rodgers. He's a great, great player. He's the kid who was great in gym class.
Yeah,
because it really didn't matter much. But then he struck out like in an actual game all the time. He was that guy. But maybe he'll surround himself with better players to take some of that weight off of him and actually win one more. I think he will. So thank you guys for all the feedback. Chris Frey, what's up? Andrew Sims.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys. Mr. Hart, I see you. Thanks for all the feedback. Again, you could call and say what's up. You could text us. The number's still the same, 412-267-7469. That's 412, the letter CNR show. It's International Women's Day.
Hey, Spot, who's your favorite Packer?
You are, Rich. Fudge Packer.
No, just going off the fun of Fox Sports the other day when I was like, Spot, name your favorite Denver Nugget. Realizing, oh, fuck, Spot probably doesn't know a Denver Nugget.
I don't think you realized it.
You didn't say that.
No, you did it on purpose.
Did that on purpose.
No, I did because we went around the room and I was trying to involve you. And I'm like, oh, wait,
Yes.
is that a hard question? Maybe it is.
Yeah, good one, Rich.
Carmelo Anthony.
Who's your favorite Hufflepuff?
Probably Dumbledore.
No, not a Hufflepuff.
I would say the Hermione. Hermione is definitely my favorite.
Gryffindor.
She's my favorite. Well, Weasley is my favorite Hufflepuff.
No, also Gryffindor.
Fuck.
I don't know any of these nerdy names. Thank you, Stony Homie. I like your nerdy name. Thank you again, Mr. Jackson. Mr. Cedarholm. Appreciate all the feedback. All right, so
Well, that's step one, by the way. Just to get that out of the way, we were talking about what's a nerdy thing they would say in the sports world? The quarterback carousel. That's step one. So now you know that Aaron Rodgers is there. So now let the chips fall for Russell Wilson, for Jimmy Garoppolo, for Derek Carr.
yeah, that means Denver's open and Pittsburgh's open.
And now all of a sudden, what you're going to see now is the chips fall.
Garoppolo as a Steeler or Bronco.
I'm not going to lie. Whoever Jimmy Garoppolo goes to will be my secondary rooting interest because I feel like I'll root for Jimmy. Like if Jimmy G goes to the Steelers.
Fun fact that Jimmy G has more Super Bowl rings than anyone else in the NFL right now.
I know. Yeah.
It's the truth.
Yeah. He backed up TB12.
He's a Patriot. The guy's a winner.
Yeah.
So,
but wherever Jimmy G goes, I'll have like a fun rooting interest for it. It'll be nice to root for him because I like him. You know,
that's fine. I think you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
I saw another stat, and it said if you could pick one, if the game was on the line, you could pick one player. And I usually hate things like this because to me they're always like, "You kidding me? Get out of here." If the game was on the line, and you could pick one player, would you pick Russell Wilson or Kyler Murray? And I'm like, Get the fuck out of here.
Russell Wilson. Who's picking Kyler Murray?
People that make this game, don't even try to bait me with that. I didn't like it. I didn't comment. I was just but people, love to speculate on stuff like that.
Washington, Tampa, New Orleans, Carolina. Carolina's fielding offers for McCaffrey. So, hey, that's it with the NFL. But
I have one last question.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Russell Wilson, does he stay with Seattle?
Commanders, bro. Commanders. And then
want to be a dance commander.
And then the NFC West gets weaker, which is the goal, so the 49ers could keep winning.
Wow.
But I think that would be cool for a rebranding of that organization.
I agree.
If you get Russell Wilson, I think you
got credibility.
You got credibility, cool new uniforms,
you're competitive.
A new team, a new name. I just think that's
fuck out of here.
He can take it the fuck out of here.
Are you winning it all? Probably not. But you're competitive now.
Well,
Stoney homie says he stays in Seattle, so he could be a lifer. He could be the next guy in this conversation. But Rich is right. This is part one of the drama of the unfurling of the quarterback scenario.
Yeah, now the quarterbacks will all unfurl, and it'll be pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. How dominant has Russell Wilson been since the Super Bowl runs? Not very. So how long until we don't give him that much credit? That's what Jason's
pretty
saying.
Dominant because this was his first losing season ever.
I had the Super Bowl runs. Too much buffalo chicken dip.
Yeah, the buffalo chicken dip had you going.
Really went right through me.
All right. Well,
that's those tainted wings.
That's your NFL update.
Well,
and the NFL
big update. That is a big update.
The NFL is just delivering, even in the offseason. Now, because of this, like I said, now everything else is going to fall into place. So,
what does the NFL and Mr. McFeely have in common, bro?
They deliver.
Delivering, bro.
Well, you know what? As you know, the NFL was waiting to see what Aaron Rodgers did, because the truth is, I'm not just saying that. Where Aaron Rodgers ended up now will determine every other team's game plan now. So game plans will be determined by what he did. So now, if you don't think like
G or the next guy, does he feel second best because they were just waiting to see what Aaron Rodgers did?
No, because I don't think all the same teams were targeting the same guys. I think they were just looking for what the market was. What is Aaron Rodgers getting paid? How long? Where's he ending up? Like if Aaron Rodgers goes to the AFC, now all of a sudden
it's like that guy Jarrett on Love Is Blind. He only picked that other little black girl because he couldn't get Mel.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
true.
That was his second choice.
Yeah.
So whoever the Steelers and the Broncos get might have been their second choice. Don't think they wouldn't have taken Aaron Rodgers.
I don't think that. I think
they would have.
I think the Steelers with Jimmy G, I think they're going to be pretty good. And I'm not saying Jimmy G is great, but we forget that Big Ben was pretty done. I think Jimmy G was a better quarterback than Big Ben the last year or so, just based on age and everything. So it could be interesting for Pittsburgh. The Breeze of the world, all the Steelers fans should be happy if they get anyone now.
The unfurling begins.
And what do you think? One last NFL note, because this is a big one.
The Breeze of the world, like Bree Miller.
Yeah, Bree Miller,
Drew Brees.
Yeah, the Breeze of the world. That's what I mean. She's a Steelers fan.
Oh, I thought you said Drew Brees.
No, the Breeze of the world.
You said Drew Brees.
So one last NFL note, and has nothing to do with the game. It has to do with, what do you think about Ridley getting suspended for a year for gambling when he was on the injured list?
I think rules are rules, man. I do.
Rules are for
I think
fools.
you're stupid if you test the waters.
You
Like,
break
if
a rule.
If you bring weed into another country, like, you're just stupid. And I feel bad for you. And I feel bad if you're arrested and you're going to be, there for 5 to 10 years now. Talking about Brittany Griner. But, like, would you do that? If you were in professional sports, would you be betting if you know there's consequence?
I told you that I don't.
So there's
I don't
only
fly with.
so,
I don't fly.
feel bad, but you can only feel so bad.
I don't fly with edibles on a national flight. I won't even put edibles in a checked or carried bag going to Texas and New York. So yeah, I mean, if you play it safe because you're abiding by the law, can you really have 100%?
Bad, but
you feel bad, but you have to be like, well, there's laws. And anytime you travel internationally and you don't know what weird laws they have.
I ain't messing around.
Didn't we
with
learn that from like movies in the 90s? Like, remember those women that were like, all right, you're going to be in jail for the rest of your life, or so people getting caned and shit. Like, don't we know that when you go somewhere else,
you got to play by the rules?
Yeah.
When in Rome, right?
Go on.
No, but you can only feel so bad is my point. So he's gambling. It's against the rules. I can only feel so bad.
Yeah, and Becker said it best. Yeah, you gambled. The guy gambled, did a couple parlays, and now what does he say? Oh, he's supposed to make $10 to $20 million this year, and that would be gone. So yeah,
there are
great
worse
gamble.
things. Are there worse things that he could do? Spot's favorite song in the movie Grease.
There are worse things.
Spot's a big Rizzo guy.
Yeah,
Big
and then you start playing.
There are worse
Then you,
things he could do.
By the
but-
way, totally passable as a teenager.
then you start playing semantics, and you're like,
Semantics.
semantics, shantics. Then you start saying like, well, he gambles on like a couple football games, and he bets for his team to win, and he gets suspended a year. But a guy like beats a woman, and he gets a couple games. So you're right. You're gonna have those comparisons,
Those
which are
the
all
worst
bunk.
things he could do.
Yeah, it's worse to, as the meme goes. You probably saw it.
Then beat a girl
smoking weed
or two.
Smoking weed or gambling on a game is worse than guns or beating women, according to the NFL. And
Well, that's their issue. They have to be consistent. They have to fix that,
I could bet on
right?
all the games. Sorry.
They need to make adjustments. Let's just put it that way. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So we'll talk more sports maybe during our rando news of the day. Again, shout out to the women. Hello, ladies.
women.
And speaking of ladies, I have a really dumb observation.
Hey, ladies.
I think that's the charm of the show. Rich and I are social observation experts. I want that to be our little moniker on the next time we do like a
talking head thing.
Social observation experts.
I really feel that way. I feel like no one does social observations better than us.
Trust me, I'm a social observation expert.
You don't get it. We do.
We people watch. We're like the Jane Goodalls of society. Hey, ladies. I've been making observations about you. And I got more hits than So, as a social observation expert
Shout out
and
to my
as a
ladies.
man who studied Nussies in the Mist back in the day, we've studied women for a long time. Women. I love me some women. I've made some observations, Rich,
I know.
based on
I know.
the way I live and the way women live. And, not breaking the glass, we're very different. But I have the dumbest observation of all when you do the math. And when you do the math, I'm right. And I have a reason.
And I love this Covino observation because
Don't overhype it.
I then took his observation as a fellow scientist.
Yes.
And I did my own comparative research, and I went back to the source, and I said, Professor Covino, you were right. My research matches yours.
A lot of independent research going on these days.
Well, I want you to, ask your wife and the woman in your life, because it's Women's Day. I want you guys to say, hey, you know what? Maybe they're right. And then you're going to go to your woman. They're going to give you all this, what's it called? Not information. They're going to give you
The research.
the research.
The,
and you're going to
the
come back with
facts.
your own
Findings.
conclusion. You're going to be like,
Findings.
they were right.
Yeah, there's disclosures.
Okay,
By
so,
the
the
way,
other
I
day-
have
Evidence.
eight couples that I've researched for you, Professor. 8 for 8. 8 for 8, scientist.
Thank you.
Am I part of that? Because I've never seen.
I guarantee,
What you're-
Spot, if you ask your wife, she's like, yeah, I think you make a point.
I've surveyed 8 couples, and Covino's theory is 8 for 8.
This might be the dumbest observation yet true. And what's great about it is you never thought about it.
Well, I know why.
That's the beauty of what we do. And we as social observation experts, we go one step further with our dumb thought to the point where you never thought of it.
Postulate a theorem based on the evidence presented.
Ready? The other day I came in here and I said Jordan was mortified when she looked at the bottom of my socks and she saw my sexy screen door.
Does everyone else want to be mortified? Look
Yeah.
at that picture on tier
She's
2.
like, what is that? And I had screen door bottoms.
That's like
no flies are getting through those.
That looks like a dirty. Honestly, it looks like a dirty screen for my house that's not
a
clean.
no-fly zone, bro.
that's the worst pair of socks I've ever seen.
I sent them to my brother. He goes, "You wear those, yo?"
Bro, how does your middle toe even poke out?
How
Like,
is,
how are you getting where? Do you have a longer middle toe?
I have a question.
What's going on? I
How
was
is your-
shocked myself.
How is your big toe not pushed
I don't
through?
know. I got to be honest. I was sort of proud of myself that I've rocked these bad boys long enough to this point. Like, man, I really got my money's worth. So Jordan was like, "You got to throw those away right now."
Right?
And I'm like, "I'll throw them away when I want." No, now. No, when I want.
Only because if you tell me to do something, I won't do it.
So,
I won't do it unless it's up to me.
I think you
At the
should
end
keep
of the
those
night,
forever.
No, I had no. Whatever. I'm gonna take them off right now. Then
No, keep them forever.
No, right now I'm taking them off.
No, please.
Because I do the opposite.
so
It's
cool.
one of those great traits I got from my dad.
You should watch fights every day.
Yeah.
By the way, you don't watch enough Sports Center. You should just like have it on 24/7.
Did I feel pathetic to be with a beautiful younger woman?
You should.
This beautiful, voluptuous
Yeah.
hottie of mine on National Women's Day.
Ooga.
Yeah. Did I feel like I was really bringing down the stock and
Swing.
really just falling short? Yes. So by the end of that night, I took those bad boys and I felt satisfied and I felt like, yeah, these are done.
Those
Later.
are gold. Those are gold toes. They weren't silver or bronze either. They didn't place.
My gold toes to
Those
old
were
toes.
last place
They
toes.
didn't even qualify for the
didn't even
championship
qualify.
round.
Now, if you remember the story,
Gold toes. Get out of here. Not even qualifying.
old toes. So I went from gold toes to old toes, right? I don't know. I even got to that point. It's like overnight, they just were see-through because I wore them thin. If you can't see the picture, if you're just listening to the show,
On a
you
side.
can see my feet.
Maybe
There's no holes, but you can
on
see
a-
my feet through the
Maybe
sock.
your toes were trying to be a little provocative.
Yeah, sexy
ooh.
toes.
Sexy
Are you
toes.
sure you didn't just buy sexy socks? Yeah. Those are like lacy. Are they
bottoms.
lacy lingerie socks?
Yeah,
But on a
I
side
should have
note,
worn them for Valentine's Day. Though.
Spot brought something up recently, and
Did you get that at Dr. Scholl's Secret?
Stupid.
Good one. Spot, you brought up a point recently, and I'll back you up. Maybe I don't even know if you brought up this point. You said you had bought them just to have extra socks in the drawer.
God,
I bought like black ankle Hanes socks in a
Oh, they're
bag.
the best.
They are the worst. They have holes in them already.
Really? These? Hold on.
Yeah, they have like yes. Let me say,
These?
show them to everybody on tier 2.
These socks?
Yeah.
These are so comfortable. They're cushioned.
Let me see the bottom.
This?
Oh no, slightly different ones.
No, these are great.
I bought
I seek these out because they're so soft
I bought a pack of Hanes
and
socks
durable.
at Walmart. Just to have like extra socks in the drawer. Because who doesn't want extra socks?
You got to be careful though. The wrong material makes your feet sweat a little different.
I'm not even joking. These Hanes socks I bought at Walmart, and I
These
wasn't
are
trying to get cheap socks.
extreme.
I was just like, hey, you know what? 10 pack of socks. Who can't use extra socks, right?
Yeah.
When I tell you they are months old,
They have an
and they already have
expiration
holes on them.
date. Yeah,
no,
no,
like
socks should come with an expiration date.
yo,
'cause if you
these
start rocking
are
that pack,
bad socks.
you probably
I recommend them.
get a month or two out of them. And then you see they all start
Yeah.
like, here's how you notice. You're doing your laundry and you notice one sock is see-through,
and the other's not. And then you start
the other's not.
mixing and matching.
But then sure enough, they're all see-through.
The second you see a hole, it's gone.
No, I agree, but then you
Hole.
got then yeah,
Gone.
agreed. But then you don't throw
Screen
you
door?
don't throw away its partner because its partner may find a new partner. It might have a second marriage.
You don't want to keep a screen door and then like one new one.
If you have one
right?
screen door and one fine, you know that you'll eventually have another screen door and fine. So the two good ones will get remarried.
Right. You got to marry them as often as you can.
While I don't endorse $25 Bombas socks, I mean, it's a great cause, and we've done commercials in the past, but they're expensive. But I will say this.
They're really comfortable.
Bomb ass socks
Yo,
right now.
I still have Bombas socks from a decade ago.
That's the one thing
Meanwhile, Hanes socks I bought at Walmart, 2 months and they're fucking done. So
They're durable AF.
yeah, I will say they are.
Well, it's much like Saks underwear, which isn't cheap. I think that they're great underwear. They're very durable.
But I still have
Steve Sachs did a great job designing those.
All my Saks underwear is in great shape.
Yeah.
So what's my
You
point?
get what you pay for.
What's my point? I didn't want to just show my sexy socks off again. But it's International Women's Day.
They were sexy enough that could have really been it.
I was disgusted with myself, to be honest, too. Like, I shouldn't be putting Jordan through that. You know, she's a beautiful woman. She doesn't deserve to see that. I was embarrassed. I'll admit. It was a low moment in my life. I was checked. I realized it, and I made the adjustment.
Maybe expensive socks are the way.
Keep in mind, though, Rich, I didn't realize it had gone this far. When it was brought to my attention, I was like, you're right. I'm not going to fight this one.
Sometimes I only realize when the floor's cold, and I look down. I'm like, oh, there's a hole. I was like, oh, I'm feeling.
I was like a few steps away of running my foot right through the sock. Like no bottoms at all.
Do you like slide around your apartment? What's going on?
So here's the thing. If you remember the story, Jordan said to me, how do they even get like that? She was disgusted. How do they even get like that? She's like, why do you always have so many holes in your socks anyway? And I was like, what, you don't have holes in your socks? She's like, no, like barely ever. And I just like slept on it. I'm like, whatever. You're the best.
Whatever.
You're the greatest. That's right, because you got the best socks and mine are the worst.
Hey, Jordan, congratulations.
You have the greatest feet ever.
It's true.
That's how I end all my arguments, because you're the best and I'm the worst.
Oh, you do that to her too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's it.
You're the greatest. Your feet are the sweetest. Sweet.
They're the sweet ones.
But what does a good scientist do after that? What does a professional
social observer do?
He takes it one step further.
Investigation.
And I said, wait, so you don't get holes in your socks? And then I think about it. I've never seen Jordan with, or any woman I've ever been with screen door bottoms. And it's something that we as men, or me, I talk about all the time. So I'm like, oh, there goes another pair. Oh, there goes another pair. I go through them like fucking, you know, like what, like dirty socks. Rich then says, you know, we put our masterminds together. Rich,
and we put on our safety goggles and broke out the Bunsen burners because this is an experiment.
Rich asks his wife, Farrah,
I got a flask.
do you ever get a hole in your socks? And what did she say, Rich?
I can't remember ever getting holes in my socks, but I always see holes in your stupid socks.
So if you do the math, I think it's pure physics, guys. Here's
Well,
my
hold
theory.
on. I then
Yeah.
called up random friends of mine.
There you go.
Hey, Christina, how you doing?
Professionals.
Oh, I miss you, buddy. How are you? Well, Christina, how's Mike? How are the kids? Everyone good? I can't wait to see you at Jeanette's wedding in a couple weeks. Yeah, it's going to be such a great time. Can't wait to see you. By the way, before you go, let me ask you something. You ever get holes in your socks?
Screen doors, you know what that is?
It's really funny you would say that, Rich. Why, Christina? Because I always complain about my husband, Mike, having holes in his socks, and I've never had holes in my socks. I'm like, oh, goodbye, Christina. Jeanette, I know you get married in a couple weeks. I can't wait. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. By the way, what's your sock game like? I started every woman I asked.
Funny you should ask.
I don't get holes in my socks, but you know who does? My stupid boyfriend or husband. And I'm like,
Spot, have you ever seen your wife, Kristen, with screen door see-through bottoms?
I can honestly say, oh, you know what? Hold on. Where were we? Oh, we were at your place. And I feel like Jordan pointed it out. So she must stare at people's feet. She's had a foot fetish. Kristen had a hole in her sock and she pointed it out. Never screen doors, though.
Never screen doors.
But Kristen was mortified and immediately threw those socks out when we got
stuck on
home.
a nail or something.
Mortified.
yeah, probably stepped on a little piece of wood or something. Yeah.
Stuck on a corner of a piece of furniture. Like
A little threshold, a nail on a threshold or something. Yeah.
Tragedies happen once in a while.
May I postulate my theorem?
Yeah.
Anytime I have any the slightest bit of hole in anything, since Kristen does a lot of the laundry, she will throw it out and won't tell me. It will just disappear. So I'm convinced
Women are allergic to holes?
I'm convinced the second there's any sort of wear beyond acceptance,
women throw it away.
Garbage.
Okay.
So
That's why you never see it.
Covino's theory goes
My
a little
theory-
something like this.
Goes like this.
Hit it. By the way, your mom keeps trying to call.
My mom?
Yeah.
Oh, let's hear it. Let's talk to
You mean the droopy sock queen of droopy socks?
The next time it's like I put her on hold and then she hangs up.
Okay.
My
The next time
mom
she calls, I'm putting her through.
wears her socks to the point where they lose elasticity. So they just droop around her ankles.
I thought
This looks like she's working at Hooters.
Yeah, they're just droopy.
She's got big baggy
droopy
socks
tube
on.
socks.
I thought
Like,
she wore
Mom,
those,
why you got such droopy tube socks?
I thought she wore like those blue like hair nets on her feet.
But never holes on the bottom. So the theory goes like this.
Hit it.
Guys run through socks because we're bigger and we weigh more.
Is
And
that
our
simply
feet are
a-
rougher, and because of the friction on our shoes and the stop and go of our weight back and forth, we're running through our socks. Women, for the most
Literally.
part, are lighter. I don't want to use the word dainty, but yeah, daintier. And they're not creating the friction that we burly men do with our man feet and our shoes.
so
they're
tell
not creating
me-
the friction to run through their socks the way we do. They don't have screen door problems that we have because they're not abusing and using their socks in this way the way we do. Now, if you are a woman who has screen doors, all I'm saying is,
By the way-
you might be up in weight a little bit.
Are you trying to say if you're a woman with holes in your socks, you're a big bitch?
I'm not saying it.
On
I'm saying
Women's
it's-
Day, you say this?
It's just straight up
On
physics. It's just straight up, the way weight and friction works.
on season 3 of Love Is Blind. So, would you say that you have any screen doors in your socks?
Oh, it's a good one.
It's
Yeah.
a great indicator. Yo, if you're with a new woman, and she has some screen door socks.
It's a good one, Spot.
There's two possibilities.
Didn't even watch
They're
the
her
show.
like old boyfriend socks or something. You have to question why she's wearing those.
That's definitely a question Shane would ask.
And
so
then-
let me ask you, like, if you have socks, like, do you ever get screen doors or the store doors in them?
Shake would be like, yeah. So anyway, or maybe they're an old pair that
has
she
to
had
be-
in her heavier days,
It has to be with the design of your foot.
bro.
It has to be
I've
like
never been with a woman who had screen door
I
socks.
have I have flat feet. I walk on my toes a lot. Or like I walk towards the front of my foot, like my apartment. Because like Rich has very heavy footed when he walks around my place. It's like boom, boom, boom. So I like try and ease on the balls of my feet to like soften the blow when you live in an apartment. Maybe that's what you're doing. Maybe you have neighbors that you don't want to disrupt your downstairs neighbors, so you're on the
I'm
front
doing a lot
parts
of
of your feet.
risky business dances.
I don't know. John CL brings up a good point. Do guys wiggle your toes a lot throughout the day? Like,
I do. Like I'm doing that right now. Just now that you
The
mention
point
it.
is, if you don't trust my theory, and we did the research, think about what we're doing that's different that creates this. I thought of other possibilities. Women don't wear the socks every day the way we do, right? Sometimes they're wearing their pumps, their high heels. They're not necessarily always rocking their
Or
socks.
flats or little
So
sandals
they're not
or-
in rotation as heavy as ours are. And I thought about the possibilities of maybe they have just a lot more, like women have a lot of socks. So they're in deeper rotation. They're not wearing through as much as ours. I thought of everything. But telling you, it comes down to simple science. We weigh more. We cause more friction in our shoes, in our carpets,
Science
in our house. We're walking around in our socks. We're burning through these bad boys way quicker, way faster because
Now-
women aren't creating as much friction.
I think guys like Covino also add to this because, see, I'm the type of guy that's cool walking around barefoot in my house. Covino never walks in his own home barefoot, which means you're always wearing socks, that's 24 hours a day. You got socks on your feet. Covino takes his socks off for a shower only.
Gotta get yourself some slippers.
By the way, I hate to.
What I'm
if you
wearing
do
right
the
now.
math,
Like, I'm not wearing socks now.
I'm not saying
Got some slipper action
any
going on.
woman is
Let me get a
overweight.
close-up on those bad
That's
boys.
not what I'm saying.
These are the most comfortable motherfuckers.
Look at those things.
ever
What are
was.
those?
I don't
But
know.
if
Someone
you're
bought them
a
for me
woman
for
who
Christmas.
starts-
These are the comfiest things ever.
If you're a woman that starts burning through a relatively new pair of socks, I think she's probably teetering on a weight sort
What?
of scenario.
On a seesaw with an elephant?
Don't
Like if you've never burned through socks before and they're relatively new, right?
It's Women's Day. Just say it.
I think maybe you're a little like me, Spot. Like when I get over a certain threshold, I start to snore a lot. Right? It could be a matter of like, man, I'm 2 pounds over.
So what you're saying is just say if a woman has holes in her socks,
if anybody,
she's
2
a
pounds
big
over.
woman.
I'm saying she's a few pounds over.
2 pounds over.
I think socks have a weight limit. You can rock them, but there's a lifespan.
You're definitely
The
right.
proof is in a woman's socks.
That's a
Look
great-
at all your woman's socks. Look at a man's socks. Look at a woman's socks. They don't have the wear and tear that ours do.
You're so
Simple.
right. You're so right, by the way. It's,
Oh,
a
I got
great
proof.
it's a great question for Shake on Love is Blind.
Yeah, it is.
You're like, I like a girl that can fit on my shoulders at a concert. Like, was that something you're into? And by the way, tell me about your sock game. You got screen doors? By the way, the spot, I know you didn't watch, but that was his
I know.
most obvious question. He's
I
like,
picked up on it.
he talks
asks
about
all these superficial
and that's the whole
questions
joke
in disguise.
People have spoofed it on social media, but Shake was the most vain guy on the show, and people ended up hating this guy. He thought he was like the coolest dude, but he was like some average looking Indian dude that thought he was a stud. And he was asking all the girls questions that would allude to their weight, like, so like if we went to a concert, you know what I love to do? Put a girl on my shoulders. Would that work for you?
No, I have noticed that I've had less screen doors since I lost weight.
A longer lifespan. on
You know
your
what?
socks.
Hey, you want to play a quick
And my
game?
life.
Want to play a quick game?
And your life.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, quick game. I'll run real quick to the bedroom.
Yeah.
I roll up my socks when the laundry's done.
Yeah.
Doesn't that affect the elasticity?
No. Sarah's like, why do you do that? I'm like, because otherwise I just have a drawer of all solo socks.
Sure.
So I'll go grab 3 pair. What's the odds that I'll just arbitrarily take 3? Is there a hole in any of them?
Of your socks?
Yeah.
I'm going to say one out of 6 socks.
Has a hole?
Has a
I'll be
hole.
back
I'm
in
going
2
2.
seconds.
I'm going
No,
2.
I'm going to say one out of those
And if
6.
you did it with mine, yeah, man, I run through bad boys. And, I'm up and down in weight, so I'll admit it. It's simple science, but no one ever thought about it because no one's as dumb as we are, to be honest. Or, I'm sorry, as genius as we
As
are,
scientifically
as professional social
minded.
observer experts. Yeah. Women don't have these issues at all. They don't. I've never seen it. Never seen it. I've never seen it ever. And it happens all the time with me. I mean, look how bad look at that wear and tear on those bad boys. Got some good use out of those.
Plus, I think,
So think what you want.
you know what I think it is
What
too?
I'm stating is fact.
You know what I think it is too? I think women spend more money on socks. I think they buy higher quality socks. I think we just go into the sock section at Target or Walmart and we're like, here's a pack of 20 for $5.
Those are gold toes. Gold, the golden standard.
Yeah,
Even my Bombas I run through.
like I invested in these socks. I'm so glad I did. They're so durable. They
How does
whisk
that not
away
make
the
sense?
sweat.
Spot, if you're going, all right, ready? Just do the simple sort of scenario in your brain. You're going on a jog with Kristen. You got on your stupid Hanes socks. She has on her whatevers, right?
We're on the job?
You're jogging.
Oh, John and Chuck. I'm like, I thought you said on the
Who's
job.
doing more damage to those socks? You
I
with your
am.
friction, your
He's got heavy
weight.
feet though.
Nah, it's just simple. It just is what it is, and that's why.
All right,
The
let's
end.
do this.
All right,
You're
Sarah,
gonna go home and you're gonna look through all your women's socks and be like, Covino and Rich were right.
Sarah's in the middle of socks and underwear in the wash right now, so I had limited, so I just grabbed 2.
Still gonna stick with my answer.
All right, these are higher. Those are the
socks.
long boy cholo bombas.
Hold them up. Let's see.
Long
Oh, they're
boy-
Bombas. That's
long
not
boy
fair.
cholo bombas. All right,
Remember, longer the sock,
Not-
the downer the fool.
not even wear and tear like
I got holes in my Bombas socks.
bombas. All right, wear and tear.
So
Nothing.
it's- All right.
Hanes
Her way.
like low boys.
Oh yeah, those are weak.
Look at that in the heel.
Ah, I win.
Dude,
Look at that.
look at that
Look at that.
I win.
in the heel. All right,
And
other
we
one?
also have rougher feet.
Yeah, you're very heavy-footed though.
Oh, look at this.
Damn it.
I was right. I said 2.
Damn it.
2 out of 4. All right,
Man.
these are. I'm wearing these to the
throw
gym
those out
today.
right- no,
I'm
throw
wearing
those
these
out
to the
right now.
gym. No, wearing them to the gym and throwing them out today.
Throw them out
no,
right
one
now.
last wear. Covino
Fine.
agrees with my
We
theory.
should have standards. You
What-
know,
this
I
is
told you
gym
how I
and
felt.
garbage.
I felt deflated and defeated when Jordan called me out. So you got to step your game up. But
Maybe I need better sock.
yeah, that's it, man. The theory is this:
Extreme. Hanes, extreme.
women
So they-
don't get holes in their socks the way we do. They just don't.
extreme.
Man, it's the Bill Nye of experiments right here. Next we're gonna experiment
Mr.
next.
Wizard.
Do you stay drier, running, or walking through the rain?
I feel like Mr. Wizard. I want to be a dick to kids.
It's got to be running. Has to be.
The same amount of water hits you.
Yeah, but you're there longer.
Yeah, but you're running through more rain. They did this on MythBusters,
But if
and I
you're-
think
if you're
so
there
you only get slightly wetter
I have
walking
a
through the
question.
rain.
Is water wet?
Yeah. Well, anyway, you're probably thinking how dumb. When you go home, you're gonna realize we were right. So
Heavyfoot Davis. I
that's
guess.
our theory. We're sticking to it.
You have such heavy feet. That
you
we didn't we observe
Yeah.
that at my place?
Yeah, of course I do. I agree with Rolando. If they're washed, wear those bad boys one more time to the gym and then throw them out. Yeah, I'm gonna wear them. I'll wear them to the gym.
Remember when Zion busted through his sneaker in the middle of that?
Yeah.
Was it the championship game? Wasn't it?
No, it was midseason for Duke
midseason?
because remember he came back
What I do,
and they lost in the
Rich
tournament.
actually busts through socks. He's so heavy footed.
what I do is when usually it's my obviously the highest toe, your big toe, it pokes through the sock. So then the next time you wear it, you just flip. So then the big toe side is on your pinky toe. So now you have more room, so it's not pushing through.
All right, there you go. The sock experiment.
Sacco.
Ta-da!
Thank you.
Don
Shout out
Sacco?
to Don Sacco.
This segment brought to you by Lasagna Don. Sacco's
Sacco.
lasagna. Real quick, hold up your hand. What's the order of the size of your fingers?
Oh, I know this trick.
No, it's not a trick. It just
It's genetic.
my pointer finger is the third biggest finger. Like my middle finger, ring finger, then pointer. And some people's pointer is longer.
Well, that's like some people's second toe is longer than the rest
My
of them.
toes go in.
Yeah, some
the
people-
right order.
Usually it's the second toe.
Is your pointer big? Yours are more equal than mine.
Got little hamburger hands. That's why.
Yeah, hamburger.
No,
hands.
but your
Little
pointer
Burger King
and your
hands.
ring finger are almost the same height.
Mine too. Oh, sort of. No, my.
Yeah. Some people actually have a higher pointer than a ring finger, which I think that means
I have
something.
stubby hands.
Well,
Mind blown.
'Cause I got
Mind
a- I got
blown,
a chode, so I
changing
got
lives.
short, stubby fingers.
and by the way, beautiful women and holes in their socks just don't go hand in hand anyway. Just don't go. I'm very sexist when it comes to this. Not gonna lie.
I don't mind.
I feel
Things
like
happen.
women should be better than that. Oh, I
Things
mean,
happen.
accidents happen. Yeah, I mean,
By the way,
like I said, they can get it caught on the is it called threshold
can
on the door? Yeah, things happen.
I postulate yet another theorem
Yeah.
to address Jesus Uribe's thought?
Oh, yeah.
The next experiment needs to focus on what happens to the missing sock. I believe your woman is throwing it out, and she doesn't tell you.
It's really a
I think
phenomenon. It
women
really is
just are
amazing.
women. Ask your woman. That's another thing. Go home today and ask your woman. Do you ever throw out anything of mine? She's like, yeah, all the time. She throws out shirts, underwear,
Huh?
socks,
How about that?
any sort of defect, gone.
Well, women,
Be
you
shopping.
got one on us. Happy International Women's Day.
Now, this will make everyone smile. Let me just throw this out there. Do you enjoy when scamsters get scammed?
Like Simon Leviev.
Yeah. Apparently, the Tinder swindler himself.
You say scamsters or schemesters or con artists.
Yeah. When con artists, and you said that is a trend. People love videos and movies and documentaries about
There's like
scamsters
4 or
and con
5
artists.
different con artist docuseries or shows on Netflix and Hulu and shit
Yeah,
like
people
that.
stealing money, robbing banks, Tinder swindler.
Even The Worst Roommate, there was a specific episode about a con artist.
And Wes in Idaho, by the way, I think you have the normal. I think it's middle. The order of the height of your finger should go middle, ring, pointer, pinky, right?
How should when everybody's hands are different?
No, but most people. Look at me. Let me see your hand. That answer, you're the same as me. You're just pointers almost as big as your ring finger. Whoa. Yeah. If your pointer's the longest, I wonder if that gives you some type of athletic advantage or disadvantage. Interesting. Well, the Tinder swindler, we haven't brought this up, but didn't he get scheme spot? Like he was trying to get verified on social media and he wired someone money and they're like, ha, got the swindler.
No way. Well, part of the story is the actual story is that he got swindled, which I love, but I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, I thought through several people he tried to get verified.
He was trying to get verified and trying to get social media clout and followers and verified and all that. And through that process, he gave people money that swindled him. So the Tinder swindler himself got scammed, which I thought was a pretty cool outcome. I mean, not for millions like he schemed people out of, but here's a doofus that thinks he should be a celebrity, wants his own dating show, wants his own podcast, wants everything.
Getting paid for appearances.
Yeah, he's getting paid to show up places. So I think it was nice to see that someone scammed him. It's the only time someone getting scammed makes you happy.
It's good karma.
Yeah. He also got sued by the Lviv family.
Yeah.
Some girl came out and said he was horrible in bed.
That's why we call him the Tinner Swindler. Because he ain't got the D.
He ain't got the D.
Tinner Swindler.
He got swindled. There it is.
I guess his enemies are after him.
My enemies are after me. My enemies.
How is he with someone?
By the way, I'm not a relationship expert. Again, I'm a social observation expert. But if you're dealing with people ever who refer to anyone as their enemies, I think that's a really bad sign.
Yeah. You shouldn't have enemies.
Like, and they specifically use that word. I understand that there may be someone that they might not get along with at the office.
Enemies.
Someone that they, don't necessarily like. But if they use words like enemies, yeah, probably not a good relationship to be in. Enemies. No, he's my enemy.
Enemies. Damn. I got enemies. Now, I pointed this out to you, and you hadn't seen it, so I feel like maybe now's the perfect time to break it down. Now is the perfect time. And the feeling is just right.
You could dance all day and
dance all through the night.
That beautiful military lodge.
All you have to bring
is your love of everything.
The dumbest 2 minutes in television history aired during an NBA game. And I don't even know what to make of it. I don't know if Shaq is fucking with people or he's not getting it. You know when you're trying to explain something to someone, and this happens to everyone.
No.
This happens to everyone at least once in their life, Spot. Even though you think you're the smartest guy on planet Earth. Everyone.
No, just in this room.
What's that one riddle that people always get people with and their wife isn't following? And
I get it. It's like,
what is 4 legs in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 3 at night?
you can't, I think it's like you can't say like the word, you can't say the word no. And it's like, all right, if there's 3 doors, which one do you go through? The left one. There's a lion there. It's like a riddle. It's like, wait a minute, hold on. What? Have you heard this joke before? Person's like, no. Gotcha. Like there's little tricks to get people. Like, all right.
There's one specific viral riddle, and I don't want to get lost in this stupid conversation, but the woman keeps saying the wrong answer because they just don't get it.
Oh, it's a word where it's like,
they just don't get it.
it's a word that's spelt. When you look at the word, you know the word, but
Is it 2?
Doesn't matter.
maybe like, yeah. Well, anyway, Shaquille O'Neal.
You're saying he just didn't get it.
I don't know if he didn't get it, but
He didn't get it and doubled down.
We've all been there where someone's explaining something to you and you're like, no, you just don't get it. I had a fight with someone at ESPN about this, and I remember I was wrong. It was a usage of timeouts. I'm like, well, they have the 2-minute warning and they have 2 timeouts. So if they take their timeout here, and I was wrong. I thought about it. I'm like, well, they should have called the timeout right before. And a lot of times everyone gets mixed up trying to figure things out.
That one that Spot brought up with the letter 2, the number 2, that is pretty funny.
Which one's that? It's like
Where they're like TWO, and she's like Two.
She's
She's like, I don't get it. Twhoa. I know what you're talking about,
like
Spot.
the setup leads you into.
That shit is funny.
Yeah.
So Rich is saying that Shaquille O'Neal's just not following. But here's the thing.
Shaquille's funny, so I don't know if he's busting balls.
He doesn't seem to be following, or he's so wrong, yet he's doubling down. That's what makes it interesting.
Take a look at Shaquille O'Neal. And this already has 5 million views. It's 2 minutes, but I tell you, it's worth it.
Okay.
Some are coining this either the best or worst 2 minutes of television in the history of
So
television.
we're going to go from, just to show you what a wonderful roller coaster of love Covino and Rich is, we're going to go from the best half hour of radio podcasting, talking about our sock theory, to what could possibly be the worst 2 minutes of television ever.
Preston hit us up with the one you might be thinking of also. Having someone say the word eyes, because they were like,
yes.
yes, yes, yeah. Yeah.
It's a joke.
There's a lot of dumb social media ones. But yeah, everyone can get tricked doing these dumb things. Listen to Shaquille O'Neal try to explain a theory on getting gas, because I think it all starts because Kenny's saying how he hates that it takes $80 now to fill up his tank. Take a watch.
Great education.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I told him I didn't want to get a certain vehicle because of the amount of gas I would have to spend. It costs like $80
To fill it up.
fill it up. And he said, then you said,
When it gets to half, then you put $20, you bring it back to full.
but if I keep doing, I would have to stop more often and still spend 80.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
Why?
You're complaining about when it gets to 0, you spend 80, right? When it gets to half, you put 20. Then when it get back to half, you put 20.
Yeah, but I'll keep stopping, putting 20 in, and it'll equal 80,
Kenny.
the same amount of gas. I'm driving the same amount of gas.
The average human stops once a week for gas, right? With you only work here twice. You would probably have to stop maybe once every 2 weeks. Don't even try it.
This is bordering
Nobody
on.
travel more than me.
This is bordering on what's closer, the West Coast or the moon.
So if
This
wait,
is bordering on that.
You're
telling me that I wouldn't have to, if I didn't let my gas get down, I wouldn't have to fill it up as much?
No, I'm saying you're complaining about the $80. That's what the conversation about. You.
But 4 times 20 is 80 because I'm gonna stop 4 times.
No, you're not gonna stop 4 times. No, you're not gonna stop 4 times. Not in 1 week. You're not.
Anyway,
Kenny,
the West Coast is closer than the moon.
if you let it get to 0, right? Monday through Friday, right? Then you got to pay 80 to fill it back up.
Right.
Okay, but if you let it get to half by Wednesday, then you pay 20.
No,
it's back at
it
the
won't
full.
get to half by, by if Wednesday it's gonna be 40, and then on Friday it'll be 40
Not 40, 20.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 20.
No,
It's gonna be 20.
not half. Half of 80 is 40.
But no, listen to what I'm saying.
I am.
Okay.
So if I just
No, you ain't gonna have
every
to
day-
put gas in every day. Don't play me right now.
I'm not playing.
Don't play with me right now.
I'm sorry. Like, I really want to know because Ernie, I want to get this car, but I
listen.
want to save gas money.
You're
So
complaining-
Please tell me.
listen.
I want to know how I'm gonna save gas money.
You're complaining about the $80.
Yes.
Right? So
I'm
at 0,
complaining. It's
okay,
80.
so at 0 is 80.
No question.
So right at full it's 80, right?
Yes.
So if it gets to half, that'll be 40, right?
No question
so
about
if you
it.
put 20 in, then you bring it back up to 3/4. Right?
No, if I put 20 in, it'll get to 1/4.
Jeez, yeah. But it'll be 3/4. It'll be 3/4 full.
3/4 empty.
No, 3/4 full.
But who's on first?
This.
So wait, did he change it then?
They changed arguments.
Like Shaq sort of, I think Shaq
Nobody-
felt he was like, oh shit. But that was 2 minutes of live television and people are saying,
I get what Shaq was trying to say, though. I mean, we have to admit, I get what he's trying to say, but his math was off at first, right? So they changed arguments a few times. He was saying, if you always keep a half tank, you're just putting about $20 in there.
but you're doing it
Every
more
week.
frequently.
But to keep it 3/4 full.
I used to do what you did. Covino, I'm not calling you out in a bad way, but Covino is let me put $20 in at a time. You're stopping for gas more than me. I don't
also-
think
you-
Covino's a guy that's like,
that's when I was like, very weak
You
place
guys
in my life.
also
Oh, that
love,
was-
you also love testing the limits of an empty tank.
Yeah, I ride my tank all the way through,
Which is
and then I
horrible for the
fill it
car.
all the way up.
oh,
how
yeah, I was
do
gonna say
it.
like if
Never get to let it go below.
if you
quarter tank.
if you fill up your tank and it's $80, if you want to only put $20 in at a time, you're going to stop 4 times to put in 20 or 1 time for 80. And Shaq was just not understanding that. Yeah, you can put 20 in a time, Kenny, but you're going to have to stop 4 times. And Shaq's like, no, you don't drive that much. Like, as if that was a factor or something. Like,
There is-
funny.
There is some partial truth to like what he's saying, because sometimes when you have a half a tank already, it looks like it's moving more on your dial when you fill it up.
That's
beyond
not what
the
he
half
was
tank.
saying, though.
I know he wasn't, but I'm just saying sometimes when you put in like $20 when you're already having gas in the tank, it jumps up more than you think it would.
I have a question for you. Unless
it's
you're a
not
kid,
full. It's
unless
not
you're
full.
Spot, I'm being serious. Unless you are a kid who's an hourly worker that's like, yeah, I'm just gonna put like $20 in now because that's all I need right now. Unless you're a kid, or I'll be honest, someone that's broke or on a budget, would it ever pay to not fill up your tank? Do some people want to stop more? People can make that argument against me because I'm the guy that's like, yeah, I go to the supermarket multiple times a week. But that's because I don't know what I want to eat. You could get fresh meats or fresh things. But gas is something that Why would anyone not fill it up all the way every time they go to the gas station?
You just don't want it to get not having it filled up is okay, but you just don't want it to get too low because then you start to like kick up sediment.
I'm guilty of that spot.
So if you can keep it between a quarter and 3/4, then you're gold.
I just
like fuel,
like my toes,
like your toes.
Shaq's funny though. Shaq was wrong. What happened was he was wrong. He doubled down, but then he changed his argument. That's what happened. That's what Rich does all the time on the show.
Yeah,
he just changed it. Because then he said, "Yeah," and then you're 3/4 full. Like, but yeah, that's not what you said in the beginning. So hilarious. Shaq is great.
61% of the country lives paycheck to paycheck. I don't know if I believe that.
I definitely believe that.
60. You think more than half the country is waiting for their paycheck that like they can't live without it?
I do believe that.
61%.
I don't know if that's right, but I believe it.
I don't believe that.
I believe that. I do. So when Rich is telling tales of like yesteryear when I would throw $20 in at a time because normally, I just fill it all the way. But I do have a bad habit of, and I try not to, obviously, but letting it go too far where I'm like, damn, I better get gas.
You know, with the price of gas, which, let's be honest, if you're budgeting, yes, it'll make a difference. But if you're not a guy that drives a lot, it's a little extra money. But they're saying one of the most inconvenient things right now is that if you have a bigger truck, like a bigger SUV or, you're driving some type of bigger vehicle, the pumps stop at 100. Some pumps. So you have to stop your process, restart, and repump again. So who knows?
Because the pumps pre-authorized usually on credit cards for 100, and I don't know if they go. You would think it would go beyond that.
It isn't. It is.
I hate them more than anything. I do. It's one of my pet peeves when you're going to pay for your gas, and it says go to the guy at the counter because it's not working, and then you have to go to the guy who's like, how much you want? And I'm like, I want to fill it. And like, yeah, but that's not how it works. So how much you want? I'm like,
that's why I'll just
I don't know. It's about 40. Now I'm guessing. I'm playing a guessing game. I don't know, $40 worth.
My anxiety just.
I wanted to fill it
to leave or go somewhere else.
I would never stay there. Honestly, Spot, I may actually drive to another gas station so I don't have to walk inside.
I don't want to go see anyone. I just want to.
Because you can't go to the guy inside and say, yeah, I want to fill my tank. They want a specific dollar amount. And now your tank's not full. So I'm like, I don't know, $30,
That's the truth.
$40. So Shaq doubling down on some wrong shit. I don't think he was fucking with anybody. I think he was just wrong.
I have a question.
I don't know what he was thinking, actually, now that I think about it.
I think he was just trying to make the point that you're not putting more money out front if you're just spending 20 at a time. And by the way, how are we defining paycheck to paycheck? Because a lot of people are debating that now.
And by the way, Rich, I was thinking about this too. Like, you haven't dwelled on the price of gas because you work from home. Like, you're home most of the time.
Yeah, I know. I get that.
So Spot and I are just like I'm burning through my socks.
Burning through gas.
Burning through gas like crazy.
Let me tell you, that mini burns gas.
So when people are talking about check to check and not wanting to pay for gas and shit like that, luckily you don't have to worry about that shit.
And I'm just driving around. I guess I'm literally driving around town.
You're driving around for your kids to
driving a weekend and going to stores and shit. Yeah, that's it. You're right.
And the stores are within a mile of here.
Like,
not everything. I mean,
because I've been to them.
Here's a regular, day for me. And again, lie in the bed you make, not complaining, just explaining.
I drive a few times a week to softball fields that are further than 40 minutes away and stuff. So I'm driving a few days a week. I'm not driving at all. I'm not driving what you're driving, but not that far off, believe it or not.
I make 6 trips.
You do because you're going back and forth. Yeah, agreed.
6 trips a day when I have my daughter. 6 trips from my town to Rich's town. That's like 3 wasted hours a day when I'm in my car. You wonder why I like my playlists? You're out of your mind. And again, that's my own scenario. That's my own choices that I've made in life. But, that shit blows. So you're burning through gas. It's a bitch.
Get a plug-in hybrid.
Yeah, I might.
I told you I was so impressed by Spot's car. I was so impressed by the fact that I borrowed Spot's car for a day. I plugged it in and I went to the beach and back. Used less than a charge, returned his car.
I'm amazed at that.
With a charge.
Because the Canyon will burn through charge.
And I used none of Spot's gas and I used one charge. And I went to Malibu, back, and then drove the car to Spot's house on a charge. And I was like, It's fascinating. If this continues, you're going to see people that are seeking them out more than ever. This is, how we talked about how
we've seen enough memes about it, though, right?
But you know how we've seen enough
Facebook,
gas memes. I get
social media posts about the price of gas. Like, we get it.
But I'm saying, you know how people were headed towards working at home a little more, but the pandemic sort of just sped it up. I think people were headed towards electric and hybrid cars, but I think this will be an expediator.
Not only that, it's so bad. I was thinking about, and this is a discussion I wanted to get to next, actually, or after you, Rich.
Yeah, buddy.
But if my brother came out here and you wanted to go, let's go to Vegas, yo.
Yeah,
Narzan's birthday, yo. Like, it's probably cheaper to fly.
Now, probably, yeah.
Now.
Well, I
I
booked a ticket last night.
Wait a second.
I booked our ticket last night in Spot. I don't know if you're coming with us this weekend. I know
it's ridiculous.
I know Spot's still on the fence. Like, hey, should I come hang? Spot. I booked a ticket last night. No joke.
Spirit.
No, American Airlines. We booked them separate one ways because I don't like to book a round trip.
Well, still, it was $80.
No, yeah, it was $80
round trip.
No, one way.
Oh, okay.
So
$80 on the way home from Vegas. LAS to LAX was $74. And
cheaper,
and that's including tax,
to fly than it is to drive.
Like, you know what? It would have been at least
ridiculous.
It would have at least been a $50, $60 fill up to drive back.
Well, that's just if you're. That's why you weigh the options. Like if you're going with a few people, driving might make more sense.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to be the show
just
that
you want
complains
to
about
just you
gas.
alone in the desert. It ain't worth it.
No. But it's
everybody's complaining about it.
It is definitely one of those like, ooh, interesting. Do we drive or fly?
Well, here. This goes to my next question. Okay. For those of you keeping score at home, Rich and I, even though we're not Covino and Rich on Sirius XM anymore, we're still Covino and Rich, right? However,
are you?
However,
you didn't have to change your names for legal reasons.
However, Sirius XM, as far as sales appearances, they market us as Covino and Rich, and we're going to be hosting at NADA this week in Vegas.
You should trademark your name. This way they have to license you.
But, dude, we're marketed as Covino and Rich. And, like, we're not even Covino and Rich on Sirius XM anymore. I do the rock stuff. Rich does the pop stuff. We're Covino and Rich on Patreon, Fox Sports Radio. But, hey, I don't care. Are they paying us to go? Yeah, so I'm not here to fight it. I'm just saying, isn't that interesting? You see how it doesn't all add up, how none of it makes sense? The other thing that grinds my goat is here Sirius XM is sending out their part-time guy, me. Meanwhile, no one's even seeking out for the full-time guy. How does that make sense? No one wants to hire your full-time guy for an appearance because nobody cares about him. How about me? So I'm grateful, but I'm annoyed all at the same time because I love doing these events, and that's money. So, hey, sign me up. I'll do as many as I can. I'm just saying it doesn't add up right. It doesn't. That's not me being a little bitch or complaining. It's just like, do the math.
I have a question.
How does that make sense?
Did you make your point yet, or because I have a question about it?
No, I didn't make my point yet. I'm building up the story that Rich and I are hosting in Vegas this week, and then the following week I'll be in Vegas again hosting for Sirius XM for a BMW event. So I'm going to be in Vegas 2 weeks in a row.
I have a question. I don't want to hijack your point, but I think I heard you say something. Does it have to do with like being passionate but not overstepping?
No, but
because you were telling me that like
feel free. What?
Weren't you saying that like when you make that point to management, you have to toe the line because you're like, I'm not even your full-time guy, but you got me hosting these events, and you're like, well, I want to host events because it's nice extra money, but if you say that too much, they'll be like, all right, well then we won't have you host those events.
Yeah, it's
like a
tough line to walk.
It's a tightrope because
it is.
You make more money hosting those events than a week of work during doing turbo and lithium and octane and everything. So in Aussie, so Covino hosting a 2-hour event in Vegas makes more money than a week of work at Sirius XM. So you don't want to chirp too loud because it'll be like,
I don't want to chirp too loud, but I want to point out.
But at the same time, you're trying to
doesn't make sense.
Of
like,
course,
I'm sought after.
That's my point. My point is you're
your fill-in guy.
You're walking the tightrope of, yo, this makes no fucking sense versus you don't want someone to be like, yeah, he isn't full-time, so let's stop giving him those events.
So I
know it's a tightrope. I get it.
I tell the bosses on a side note, personal note, that I just really feel like I'm more than a fill-in guy. And I'm hosting all these events.
No
and
shit.
I'm just capable of more. That's all I'm trying to say. So they're trying to keep that in mind, and there's no bad blood there. just a little bit of bitterness from my standpoint.
There's bad blood on Hits One, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, because it just doesn't add up. But am I stoked about doing these events? 1,000%. Love doing them. It's the best time. You're representing a company you believe in, and you're making good money. And you're dining on the company's expense. I love these things. So there's no complaint going on. I'm just saying the math doesn't work. So long story short, you and I are going this weekend. We don't know if Spot's coming just for the fun of it. And we leave Thursday. It's my brother's birthday weekend, right?
Tell him to come.
So I was like, yo, dude, if you want to come.
Take him.
If you want to come. Oh, no, yeah. I owe some people some money, yeah. So it's a bad look. I'm like, well, hey, I'm glad he realizes that that's a bad look. If he owes people money, he shouldn't be sending selfies from poolside Vegas.
Not to sound like a dick.
And why does he owe people money? Simply because he moved and he needed down payment and his money's tied up in investments.
I get you, but what I'm saying is, when your brother started making good money,
making cheddar, yeah.
Didn't you tell him, Tommy, don't get carried away? And remember, you wanted to buy like a Mercedes sports car, and he wanted to do all this, and like
bought a crossbow.
I know you bought a, but what I'm saying is, that was the warning that was not listened to. I mean, the fucking guy bought a crossbow,
and he's thinking I'm investing, so that's the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
The thing is, he invested too much. It's an honest mistake, the bravery style. It was an honest mistake. That's in my alt vault. If it isn't, it should be. He invested most of his money, which you would think is the responsible thing to do, but everything's so low.
I would tell you to
access that money, he'd be taking a loss. So he borrowed some money, no big deal.
I would tell you to buy him a ticket, but they're like expensive from the East Coast.
So, hey, if you want to come, dude, come. You got a room? I'm there on the company's dime. You can stay with me and party.
Thursday.
Bring a friend. What do I care? Do what you want. Party for your birthday. Here's the key. Here's the catch. My brother's never been to Vegas. So, the question I pose to you isn't the better experience? It all ties together because we're talking about gas prices, and it's better to fly than actually drive now. It's a cheaper trip from LA to Vegas, probably if you fly.
Yep.
Don't you think your first trip to Vegas, if you have the ability to leave from California, shouldn't it be a drive there? Like the excitement of, picture of like Vince Vaughn and John Farrow. Vegas! No, dude, when you pull up, I got to tell you.
It's an LA thing.
You want people, all right, so then it doesn't have to be necessarily about Vegas, but there's a part of every human that just wants their kids and their siblings and their family to experience the wonderful things you experience the way you experience them, right? That's sort of the struggle with being a parent sometimes. It's like you want your kid to live the fun childhood you had, but they're living their own childhood. It's different. But you're like, yeah, but when I was little, I did this. You don't have any joy in that? No, not really, because they're living in a different life. But that's all you want. So really, you just want their happiness at the end of the day.
Of course.
With my brother, I'll never forget, dude, my first trip to Vegas. I was in California with some college friends, and we took the road trip. And we're driving through, and you're seeing all these landmarks, and you see the dinosaurs and
Big Adventure, and the windmills and
windmills, and then you're going through the desert. I got lost in the desert, baby. You're playing all your fun jams along the way. Vegas. All of a sudden, you see these bright lights, and you're in. Is it called Prim, Nevada?
You think it's Vegas at first?
You're like,
wait, is that Vegas?
Is this Vegas? It's
no. This is
Pete's
Prim, Nevada.
The Golden Nugget. You get to this halfway point where it's like the butthole part of Vegas. Right, it's all these weak ass casinos.
$1 blackjack.
But you start feeling that excitement because all these bright lights and all these weak ass casinos. Oh shit!
Prim Nevada is a good spot to gas up and stop for a snack.
You want to stop into Whiskey Pete's? Man?
Is gas cheaper in Nevada?
Maybe.
Yo, man, they like whores here. What's going on, man? What is this?
It can't be more expensive than LA.
Vegas? It's not what I pictured. Where's the Luxor? Right. So again, I'm a dumb college kid. I'm talking about my first experience.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, wait, this can't be Vegas, because you get to this halfway point where it's like in between. It's the taint of L.A. and Vegas. Well, it's right there.
It's the border. Yeah, it's just the border.
But what Covino's describing is so true, because
it's your first time.
The first time you go there, you're like, is this Vegas? and it's underwhelming, and you're like, no, this isn't Vegas. It's a fake out. Prim Nevada is like a weak fake out. Like, hi, this is Vegas.
It's the first time I went to Washington, D.C. Again, we were talking, I was a dumb young idiot. I was in D.C. and I see the Capitol building. I was blown away. I'm like, that's the White House. Like, no, it's not the White House. That shitty fucking thing over there is the White House. You know, your perception, your imagination is all off, right?
The weakest example of this is we were in Seattle and we thought we were at the original Starbucks and it was just a weak Starbucks on a random block. And they're like, no, the original one's around the block. And we're like, oh, and then we realized there's a line and like hoopla and everything.
So you take this trip, you're playing your fucking dope ass playlist, Mega Mix 2006. You're with your buddies. For me, it was Mega Mix like 86. You're driving, you get through Prim. You're like passing all these cool fucking deserts and cacti and Joshua trees. And you're like, yo, man, I think we're almost there. And all of a sudden, you see this beam of light, this beacon of light. You see the Luxor shining up into the sky. You're like, no, bro, that's fucking Vegas. Dude, it's the dopest feeling. So now you're pulling up into the sick-ass city. Sin City. Whores everywhere. Sluts, slot machines, everything, you name it. Drinking, boozing, dining. It's all there for you. All for the taking. You're like, whoa. So my point is, I kind of wanted that experience from my brother for his first time. Not just like fly in. And
I think it's pretty cool to fly in because you see it out the window of the plane. You see it out the window of the plane. You're like, there's the skyline. There's the strip.
There's so much more fun. For a first time, been there. It's old hat. It's Brett Favre's old hat for me. So flying, I'd rather fly there now. What the fuck? I don't want to do that again. I've done it a million times. So, but first time experience, you just want people to experience things the way you experienced them if they were great for you.
Of course.
And, I was debating, is it better to drive to Vegas or fly to Vegas?
Great question.
Think about it. If you're
I think for your brother,
road trips are more fun. Road trips are more fun, man. They really are. They're memories. I'll tell you what. You know what I remember vividly? Me driving with my butts to Vegas for the first time. You know what? I don't remember like flying to Vegas. Like, who cares? I don't remember that at all.
This weekend, first time that we're back in Vegas in over 2 years.
You
right?
remember?
Since Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, right?
Yeah, but there's something to be said about that. You know what I remember very distinctly? When you and I, when Rich and I and Spot, we've been to city to city to city to city. You know what stands out to me? Riding those bird scooters all around DC.
That was the most fun. That
something to be said about it.
Was so fun. One of the most fun times. I'm glad you feel that same way, Spot.
It was so liberating.
Spot, I'm glad you feel the same way too, because if someone doesn't have the same,
and that was my first time on one of those.
That shit was so fun.
If someone doesn't have the same feeling as you when you experience the same thing, it doesn't connect. But the fact that you guys agree, when we were on our road trip, East Coast road trip,
the circumstances?
We went from Boston, of course, because I was the one that's like, look at the 3 scooters.
Okay.
We went from Boston down to Tampa. We were in DC, and we're like, yo, let's see the sights before we do our live broadcast. And they're like, well, a cab or an Uber or a Lyft to the Capitol building or the White House, traffic and money,
and limited time.
So we had like an hour.
Broadcast was starting,
and then almost I feel like a beacon of light came down on them. Oh, there were 3 those little bird scooters. And I was like, guys, and I think one of us even had to download the app. And we're like, ready? Here we go. Boop, boop, boop. Activated.
It was like a little fucking scooter gang. We saw every landmark. Was it Washington Monument, Lincoln Memorial,
everything.
White House.
The reflection,
Capitol building.
The reflecting pool, like where Jenny ran to Forrest Gump.
Bro.
You were right there.
And we rode around it. We rode around it. We were doing laps, and then came back right in time for our broadcast.
We even got a chance to take a picture of the Washington Monument as our dick.
We did. We posed. And by the way, so this story does tie together because, again, memorable. So if I were to tell my bro, you're going to D.C. for the first time? Dude, hear me out. Get on the scooters. I know it sounds corny. Take a picture of the Washington Monument like your dick, but definitely go. I know it sounds corny, but if you want to see everything and like have fun with it, get one of those stupid scooters. I don't know, yo. Trust me, bro. It's gonna be fun. Trust me, bro.
Trust him.
I feel like now, in other words, to fast forward to the Vegas scenario, My brother's on the fence, like, I don't know if I can go. Yeah, I'm like, we'll go next time. But I still think his next time should be we drive there. Fly to LA, we drive there. I think it's more of a fun experience. But we'll see what happens. I'll be in Vegas this week with Rich. Be in Vegas next week. After that, BMW sponsorship. Drag Jordan with me. Have some fun.
I'm excited
Eat
to
some
see.
dinner.
I'm excited to see what the Vegas casino floors look like.
And then again, a lot of us might be going in April for Narzan and party time. Just get together.
And then we might have a convention at the middle end of summer.
Hey, you know what? Maybe. And maybe that's when my brother comes, So
Well, I look at it this way. Unless some crazy variant comes back, I think after all the false alarms.
Is this a major announcement?
No, I mean, unless
speculation.
No, it's speculation. It's just like unless a major variant happens again, we were distracted and are distracted by war, other things, gas prices, inflation, economy.
What's it good for?
Unless there's a variant that comes back, where it's
the Emocron.
where it's
You didn't hear about the Emocron?
oh, you start feeling all emo.
No,
Do you comb your hair like Fall Out Boy?
The When We Were Young tour.
Yeah.
The kids there, they got the Emocron.
Emocron. Unless some variant comes out that's worse than the previous ones, even if it's one that's mild, people are done with it. Masks, even in LA and New York, masks gone. So, and it's summer, so viruses, don't they say like we're on a downslide now? The least cases, right, Spot? Now, the least cases in over a year?
No idea.
If that's the case, play ball. Unless it's the Ligma variant.
I'm sorry, what?
Ligma?
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Yeah. But I don't think COVID's going to be an issue. I'm curious to see, is there going to be like a,
Well, that's
is it going to
the
be like
holdup.
are they going to be like dividers at the roulette table, the blackjack table, or the craps table? Are there like,
Here's video of
is there precaution?
Look at that
Scooter
scooter gang.
Which way do I got to go?
Clockwise, yeah.
All right.
Oh, look at how much fun we're having.
Look at that. I don't know why Ring of Fire is playing.
Because we're owning DC right there.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my...
Look at that. How much fun we're having on those scooters going around DC.
Right?
It's the most fun I ever had in my life. Memorable. Hey, you know what? To make it a conversation real quick, go around the room. And we'll take your feedback. Appreciate you guys. When I talk to my brother, I feel like, hey, dude, you know what you need to do? You need to drive to Vegas. From LA to Vegas is great. Hey, dude, you going to DC? Get on those scooters, man. That way you can see everything. And, you can, it's fun. Just do it. Trust me. Are there other must-dos? Like must-dos?
Yeah, take a picture of your dick as the Washington Monument like spot.
Have to do that.
Yeah, you got to lay down on the grass.
God, I won't even
and
fit
you got to
in the-
lay
won't
down on the
even fit
grass
in
and
the shot.
you got to lay down on the
there's
grass
like
or a bench and position yourself where the Washington Monument's your penis. You have to do that. I've done it.
No. But all right, ready? We're in Chicago. It's kind of a must-do to go to Lou Malnati's. I feel that way. I believe that.
Yeah.
Done
right?
that. We've done
You
that.
gotta
You got to get some deep dish.
What are some other like must-dos? And maybe it's one personal one. Like when I went to Hawaii, right? They're like, you got to do the road to Hana.
Did it.
I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am. I'm really glad I did it. Is it a must-do though, Spot? It's like a road. You take a road to Hana.
Yeah.
And you stop and there's all these little landmarks along the way and you do all the little tourist stuff that they suggest for you along the way. I'm glad I did it. I don't know if I'd do it again though, but I'm glad I did it. Are there other must-dos? Like, did you ride a horse in the Grand Canyon or some shit? Did you go down a barrel at the Niagara Falls? Is there a
I didn't do this, but Spot and I saw people doing it. We went to a wedding in Santorini, Greece, and people all ride these donkeys down like the trails.
But maybe that shit is really dope.
I rode one.
I've never done
a
it.
four-wheeler, though. That was fun. In Santorini.
All right, so give me
rented
one.
one.
Try to think of one
I
more
got
that
one.
you did.
I got one that I would recommend to everyone, but
that you vouch for.
I vouch for.
Okay.
And you guys are going to say it sounds so douchey.
Okay.
Just because of the name. But
I can't wait.
I've been to the Bay Area quite a bit.
Oh, is this when you were...
I went to the 49. I've been to 49ers games. I've been to San Francisco just to see friends that live there. I've been to the West Coast, Northern California quite a bit. One time we went Sarah and myself, and we met our friends Turner and Loren. Sarah's Texas pals that I love.
Mm-hmm.
We actually took a road trip we started in San Francisco.
Road trips. More memorable.
Went to San Francisco. We were in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
You guys slept.
We started. What's up, Spot?
You guys slept on half our road trips.
We started in San Francisco.
You know it's true.
We made our way down to San Diego, right? I recommend that, but that's not my point. But if you have the ability to do San Francisco, LA, San Diego over like a week road trip, like start Northern California to Southern, it's fantastic. But when we were in...
Especially if you can do the coast.
Oh, the coast is great. If you are ever in San Francisco with a little extra time to kill, the most fun I've had, like doing some touristy shit, we rented bicycles. We rented bikes, like mountain bikes. And it was like $25. And you start in downtown San Francisco and you ride a bike over the Golden Gate Bridge. So you ride a bike over the Golden Gate Bridge, and on the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge is Sausalito, California. So you ride your bike over the Golden Gate Bridge into Sausalito. Now, when you're in Sausalito, California, there's all little restaurants, cafes, coffee shops, ice cream shops.
Hold on, I hate to interrupt your story, but tell me about the feeling. No, I'm serious.
I will. Let me finish that. Let me finish the experience.
Is it downhill?
Uphill and then downhill.
The breeze hitting your face and you're over the bridge. You get nervous a little bit.
So
not going to be doing any walking.
You're looking around. You're like, oh my God, I'm on a bike on the Golden Gate Bridge. Looking all around.
Your nuts fall in a little bit because you're so like, I'm over the bridge. This is scary.
The railing right there.
I don't like that.
So a bike ride over the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
You end up in Sausalito.
But when you see the tip of Sausalito,
you look out. You're like, look.
Rich saw the tip of Sausalito, but when you see it, like you're like, I think I see it.
You're like, look, that's what's the prison of the
Alcatraz.
You're like, oh, there's Alcatraz. You go into Sausalito, which is the douchiest sounding city.
Alcatraz. He was in my homeroom in high school.
Covino, present. Catraz.
No, Catraz was
he was first. Yeah. Catraz.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, what's up, Al?
Catraz.
Then he was right next to me in the yearbook.
It's a little nerve-wracking and it's exciting. So you're going over the Golden Gate Bridge on a bike. You end up in Sausalito. Now, I told you, there's little shops, restaurants, cafes. It's a cute little quaint town, right? Yeah. And then you hop on a ferry with your bike and you take your bike back to the bay, back to San Francisco. So it's sort of like a one-way bike trip because when you get to Sausalito, that company provides a ferry with your bike back. And it was like $25 to rent the bike. It was fantastic.
Jordan's set on one, and it would be memorable, but I don't think I have the nuts to do it. I just don't think I wear the nuts enough.
Oh, you have zero nuts.
I just feel like I'm past that risky stage in my life, and you're probably like, dude, it's not that big of a risk, but I think it is. But it sounds like a must. I feel like once I do it, I will feel the way you felt about that.
Ziplining in Costa Rica?
I've ziplined, but not in Costa Rica, and I want to do that.
My wife wants to go to Sarah wants to go to a sloth sanctuary in Costa Rica. I'm like, all right, one day, but that's like her. I don't know why.
I thought he lived with Chunk now.
You're going to live with me now.
No, but I feel like I'm going to have the same, like, you got to do this feeling that Rich is describing. Okay. She wants to take wave runners from L.A. to
Catalina
Island.
That's like a 2-hour wave runner because a boat going fast is like an hour. Nope. There's sharks out there.
That's the thing, bro. Yo, and those waters are rough.
I don't mess with the ocean.
I do not
mess with the ocean.
You know what I love?
It's a 2-hour wave running.
Half-hour wave running, like when you stay
on vacation and you stay in the perimeter.
That shit is fun for me.
Your balls are gonna be like
2 hours of like you're in the middle of the ocean. Yeah.
Your old man balls.
Yeah. And then when the thought like sinks in and the reality sinks in, like, wait, I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Yo, I'm telling you,
scary,
that's exciting, but
there's sharks for real.
There's not only sharks.
What if a fucking like big whale, like people go whale watching and shit? What if I see a whale tail and it's not on a fat woman from the 90s? What if I see a whale tail pop up? I'm gonna shit my pants. I'm like, I'm gonna be
If she's fat with a whale tail, she definitely has holes in her socks.
Definitely has holes in her socks. But the point is, can you imagine? You finally get there. You're there with your group of pals, your crew. You're on wave runners for 2 hours.
What if your wave runner? What if your wave runner conks out?
That would happen.
And you're in the middle of the Pacific.
That would happen to me. That sounds typical.
Or if it flips.
Yeah. And then I'm in the middle of the ocean.
Sharks are circling you.
You get a panic. Right?
Oh,
But
just
then-
stick your head out. Just stick your head out, and they'll think you're one of them.
But then you see
With your
Skull
little shark
Island
fin hair.
in the distance. You're like, I can see Skull. I can see it from here. Catalina's right there. I see it.
It's an
That shit
hour.
must be-
It's an
you
hour
pull in
long.
through the mist.
It's an hour-long ferry ride, and that ferry is fucking booking. So on a wave runner,
She
it's a
kind of wants to do
2 hour
it.
like.
But can you imagine the feeling that when you pull up to the island?
What if the ferry goes by you and a wave from the ferry knocks you off, and you go flying, and all of a sudden you're in the middle
Riding a
of
whale.
the Pacific?
What if you
What if a whale swallows you?
Yo.
And you're inside the belly of a whale,
Me and
you're
Geppetto
like
in there.
Geppetto.
Fucking jeez.
Remember, you have
Scares
to
the
cut
shit out
yourself
of me.
out before it digests you.
But that shit sounds like something that if you did, you would be like, yo, bro, you know what you got to do? You got to take wave runners from LA to Catalina.
Well, hold
dude.
on,
Trust me
Lisa
that.
brings up a good point on our in-show
Fuck the
thread.
question.
Now, I do what Jordan says. I'd imagine they have a chaperone boat that's sort of trailing you in case.
I don't think so, man.
They can't just give two bozos wave runners and say,
No,
hey,
it's party.
2
It
hours
goes
that way is
by parties.
Catalina. You're going to have a guide or you're going to have a boat that's like a companion. I guarantee it. And then I would do it. I would never go on my own. Spot. On your own is way different than, hey, there's a boat that's like 50 yards away, like sort of trailing you for,
I'd
just
be
to.
worried about like taking a speedboat there.
Yeah, it's risky, man.
Like you're,
But it sounds like
when you're in the middle of the
something-
ocean, it freaks me out.
Sounds like something that you did, and you're like, yo, man, I'm telling you, got to do it.
Like I know Catalina is not that far because you can see it from shore. It's very visible.
Oh, when you're in Malibu spot, actually, when I was with my dad, we went to
it's
Duke's in
far,
Malibu,
it's-
and my dad's like, "What's that out there?" And it's like, you could see it, and the waiter's like, "Oh, that's Catalina. You can see it. It's out there." It's
Pretty cool.
It's a big
We should
island.
go back. Any
Never
other
been.
cities like must do? Like, I don't want to make it a touristy, nerdy conversation, but like, it's so dope that you got.
You know what's a cool experience I've done? So in the Adirondacks, and I feel like I've seen this in other places, on old railroad tracks that existed that they no longer use, they put these like little devices that you sit on with other people and you like pedal and you go like you
That's
just
cool.
ride along the railroad tracks.
That's
through,
cool.
like, the woods and by the river
You
and
know,
all
it's
that
like
stuff.
Indiana Jones things.
Not like that, but it's you're pedaling. But it's you're driving the car. You're driving the little rail thing.
So this all ties back to I want my brother to take the road trip to Vegas because I remember how cool that felt to pull up and see like bright lights is gonna set my soul. Gonna set, wow, Vegas. Wow. So some must do's.
Do.
And maybe we'll see you in Vegas this Thursday, Friday, coming back on Saturday. So appreciate you guys. Covino and Rich. First time adventures.
Now, there's other stuff besides the sock theory. And by the way, how excited do you get knowing that nice meals are not going to cost you any money?
I love it.
It's like the life of a hot girl in her 20s.
Yeah.
Imagine like everywhere you
realize how
go, you
good
just
they have
know. Yeah. Like we just got the little agenda. Like we get to Vegas Thursday, and then we're gonna go to this restaurant. They're like, oh, when we book the team a dinner at this restaurant on Friday, and all I'm thinking is like, I'm gonna pig out.
Oh, which restaurant? That doesn't say.
I'm gonna pig out. Now, besides the sock theory,
Oh, Jordan says there's two guides and you see sunfish. You know how big sunfish are?
don't tell me about sunfish.
Really? They're
Yeah.
gigantic. You'd shit your pants if you saw a sunfish underneath you in these murky waters. It's not like you know how like all caution goes to the wind when you're snorkeling in
Nope.
beautiful crystal
Nope.
clear water in Aruba
Nope.
or Bahamas, and you're in Mexico in a cenote. You're like, hey, there's a hammerhead shark. Sweet.
Nope.
I guess I'm okay. There's a tour guide here. Yo, when you're in murky, fucking disgusting waters here.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
What?
No.
That's Yo, you can swim with that?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Nope.
I don't need to see that monstrous albino fish coming out to say what's up.
I would rather
I'm
have
cool.
an
Get
alien-
away from me.
I would rather have an alien probe my anus than have to deal with any sort of sea creature. Sea creatures to me are creepier and more dangerous and more mysterious than any sort of alien could ever be.
I'm reading our feedback. Daniel hit us up saying, ask Jordan if she's ever seen a vato get eaten by a shark. No, because vatos don't put themselves in those positions.
Vato, you ever see a vato ride a sunfish?
You ever see a vato twin? I haven't. No. You ever see two vato twins? I haven't.
That's a good point.
Herbalife dude hit us up on our text message, 412, the letter C in our show. Flew to LA and took the Pacific Coast Highway all the way up to Seattle. A must do.
Great example. I really do. You got to take that Pacific Coast Highway and go somewhere else. Like I said, I always talked about my trips to Carmel and Monterey and all that area. You got to take the Pacific Coast Highway and just really see where they do these car commercials. And you're like, wow, America really is beautiful.
Ben hit us up saying he goes scalloping
through the ocean.
White with foam.
And you see the white. You're like, oh, there's the white with foam that they were talking about. God bless America. You're like, this is beautiful.
Ben hit us up saying that he goes scalloping in the middle of the ocean in Florida once a year, and it's pretty exhilarating.
Scallop. I like all these answers. Got to scallop and where? Where's that?
Middle of Florida.
Got to scallop.
Didn't Rich request to have his bike seat removed when he rented it in Sausalito? Yes, I did. Yes. Vegas is back to normal. I was there last month.
A banana seat, but it was really a banana that he sat on.
I was there for the Pro Bowl, guys. 970 hit us up. I was there for the Pro Bowl. It's back to normal. Vivid Lee, your Asian friend, checking in, saying what's up. Says he's a local guy in Hawaii.
Oh,
look at that. Well, hey, whatever those things are, hit us up. The must-dos. What are the must-dos?
Aloha.
You know, I'll tell you what. A lot of my must-dos, I feel like, happened internationally. And I have not gone internationally as much as I would love to. I feel like I've seen a lot of places in the world, but not as much as, I want to. But then again, you like to think you live a nice long life and you could do that later. But
people say you only live once, Rich, but that's not true. You live every day. You die once.
It's true. Now, if you go, Covino, to Rome, isn't it like a must-do? Spot, don't you feel like it's a must-do to
this is a must-do.
Go to see the Colosseum in Rome and then get some legit Italian food and I feel like to me Italy.
Don't mind if I do.
There's so many must-dos in Italy. I feel like getting paella, walking down the streets of Barcelona. I feel like there's things. I feel like there's things like that you got to do.
Gotta do it.
I
haven't done it, but I
don't know. If you're in France, walk around a casino in Monaco, or I was in France and I was like, you know what I gotta do? I gotta go get a baguette and just walk around and eat bread. You go to Paris. You know what you gotta do?
You've seen the Elf on the Shelf.
You gotta get if you go.
Continue, carry on.
If you go to Paris, you gotta get a bottle of wine and some meats and shit like that and sit under the Eiffel Tower. I'm still trying to figure out the Elf on the Shelf joke.
No, go. Continue.
I don't get it.
Bro.
Why are you stopping me when I'm asking?
It's a time bomb because it's an inappropriate joke from the 2000s.
Hold on.
That was my inner Skeletor. You've seen the Elf on the Shelf.
Stop it. Don't push it.
So continue. Carry on.
My dad went to Alaska, and he said...
Oh, I'd love to go to Alaska.
He said... He goes... You know what he did? He said...
I saw Aurora Borealis.
He said he saw that. And know what he said also?
That's on my bucket list.
You go on...
For real, B. Let's
go.
go.
What you do? You go on the dog sled.
Let's go.
My dad's like, you go on a dog sled? He goes, what they don't tell you, though, is that... there's shit flying everywhere because the dogs are shitting while they're running.
Sounds like some Liam Neeson shit that I need to do.
Yeah, dog sledding in Africa, in Alaska.
I want to do that.
I had a friend that went. Speaking of Africa,
I really do want to.
I had a friend that with his wife. His wife loves photography. Their house has beautiful photos. They went on an African safari. And I'm like, yeah, it's a cool picture of an elephant. They're like, yeah, we took that in Africa. I'm like, yo, that's when the picture, I was like, sweet elephant picture. He's like, I took it. I'm like, you took it?
For real, B.
Those Alaska.
You can end on that. I was keeping it
I want to go right
here in America. There's tons of It's International Women's Day. tons of international amazing things you must do.
You know, I'm jealous of Sarah. Sarah went to Ireland with her friend Julie on like a girls trip, and Sarah did a lot of these like bucket list type of items. But I agree with our boy Kevin Cedarholm, who said, if you do go to Paris, and I went to Paris, I never thought I'd go to Paris, but you know why I went to Paris, Spot? Because I knew we were moving to LA. And I said, if we're moving to LA, I'm not going to go to Paris from LA. And I was like, from New York, it's a 5-hour flight, 6-hour flight. I was like, if I'm ever going to go to Paris. So I surprised Sarah with a long weekend in Paris before we moved to California.
Just one night?
And, well, not one night, but it was like did 3 nights. It wasn't even a long trip, but honestly, seeing the Eiffel Tower lit up and having a bottle of wine or rosé or whatever, like sitting on a blanket by the Eiffel Tower is one of those like, it's nothing spectacular other than just like, yo, I did it, you know?
Your sister Dawn just said that.
Oh, she's done.
She said she's
done
She
everything.
grabbed a bottle of champagne, went to the Eiffel Tower, and chilled and wait for the sun to set and let it light up. It's
Beautiful.
Like it was the greatest time of her
no,
life.
honestly, it's like one of those like, where am you ever somewhere and you say to yourself like, where am I right now? This is fucking wild.
That was Santorini for me.
Santorini's
Most beautiful place on earth.
So make it happen.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Do what you guys could do
There's
to
a
get out.
million international ones that we could discuss, right? Wanted to hear your personal experiences.
But your brother
Feel
going to
free share.
Vegas, flying or driving is how it started. Either way, I think the fact that your brother's like a cool young dude and he's in his
I'm saying your
20s and he's
first
never been to
experience.
Vegas, that's
Yeah,
wild.
your first experience is the one that stands out. So, make them count. By the way, Tracy hit me up. Tracy Esposito. Hurt my feelings. She said our sock theory's bunk. She goes, men have more holes in their socks because they have janky toenails. Plain and simple.
It's possible. This is wild, crazy news.
We're talking about wear and tear, though.
Wild, crazy news. Breaking news on the Covino and Rich Show.
Uh-oh.
A blockbuster trade.
Okay.
A blockbuster trade in the NFL. Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos. I told you the Aaron Rodgers things was going to start the process.
Domino effect.
Domino effect. After weeks of negotiations, the Seattle Seahawks and Denver Broncos have agreed to terms in a deal that involves Super Bowl winning quarterback Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, pending a physical, will be a Denver Bronco.
This fucking guy.
What?
I don't know, man. I feel like Denver really wanted Aaron Rodgers. Now they couldn't get him, so they went with the second best.
I'll tell you, it's not second best. I feel like it's different types of quarterbacks, really. I mean, like Seattle giving up Russell Wilson means what are they going to do now? Now ask yourself this.
But why is it all happening now?
Ask yourself this,
Denver's
buddy
like,
boy.
well, I guess we can't get him, guys.
All right, so Aaron stays in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Russ goes to Denver. So whose destination is Seattle? What's Seattle's quarterback plan now? Does some young kid get a chance? Does a guy that you didn't think like, because they're talking about Mitch Trubisky getting a chance now in Indianapolis, where like people thought he was like done, like what a bust for the Bears. Like,
no, there's another name that I saw.
Looks like Mitchell is getting
up in Seattle, and it's not coming to me now.
If Jimmy G goes to Pittsburgh,
it's all lining up for Jimmy G.
You know who this looks good for too now? Ryan Tannehill could fucking take a deep breath, because Tennessee was a place where people were like, what if they upgraded their quarterback? That would make them a real contender. But yeah, Seattle's in full rebuild mode. I don't even know if they're going to go after a big-time QB right now. Now, does that mean DK Metcalf and some of these other young cats are like, well, then I'm fucking out too? Maybe Seattle is, this is the beginning of the end. Pete Carroll's staying for now.
Huh. So Russell Wilson, out! Big news, breaking news here on the Covino and Rich Show.
Can you picture Russ? I can't picture him in a Denver Broncos uniform.
No. For some reason, that sounds really odd. It really does.
Pictured Russell
And I don't
Wilson
harp
in
on
an,
shit like
in
that,
an
like Rich does.
orange jersey.
Yeah, that's odd.
Russell Wilson wearing orange doesn't look right.
Agreed.
It will, though.
A game changer, though. I mean, he's great. He's a great.
Colorado.
How's your brother?
We got Russell Wilson
Is your brother
now.
invested enough to care?
Yeah, my brother still is invested in football. I have a family update if you want that.
Yeah,
I
let's
have
do
a
it.
big time family update.
Let's do it.
That I'm not supposed to talk about.
Let's do it, but let's also because
don't talk about it.
No. Then definitely talk about it.
No, because the last time I said don't talk about something, someone posted pictures of the fucking girl I had a threesome with. So maybe I don't talk about it. I'll be right back. I got to pee
See
again.
what you did, you little jerk.
I'll be back.
See what you did?
Rich had a gruesome.
Who was that?
I mean, a threesome, and now you ruined it.
Who was that?
But not only do I want to hear the story, I want to go on a little like dog sledding adventure in Alaska. I don't think Jordan's going to do that shit with me.
I could just,
Fine, let's go.
I could shit in your face. I could shit in snow and throw it at your face if you'd
Oh,
rather.
I want to see the Northern Lights for real.
I want to do that. I want to go to like Iceland.
I want to be like, whoa.
If I'm gonna do that, I wanna-
I see the Northern Lights and I'm like, whoa. And I have a bunch of Keanu moments. Like that guy, like the Spider-Man, English Spider-Man gif. Whoa. And then I get right back to normal. Like,
I want to
that's
go
cool, right?
to the little huts. Have you ever seen these?
No, but I'm excited to.
These little huts in Finland.
Yeah.
These things.
Yeah.
I want to go stay in one of these.
Let's go. Let's effing
See
go.
the Northern Lights.
I bet you Jake, our old former associate producer, is probably there right now. So live your life. Live your life. Live every day.
Hey.
It's Covino and Rich. Late breaking news. Russell Wilson is a Denver Bronco. I got to let that sit in for a minute. For those of you watching, I changed up to decor today. I got my Iowa Slipknot whiskey here. This is not baseball season. What am I representing the Yankees for? We don't even have baseball yet. So I put my whiskey here on display. Number 9 Slipknot Iowa whiskey.
I'm going to go to Reykjavik.
Oh, with Earl?
And I digest.
Yes.
Volcano Man.
Maybe we go to Eurovision. Like see a competition.
Where's the next Eurovision?
That shit would be dope.
I would love to see Eurovision. I think that'd be cool to see.
Man, the Russell Wilson things got me like all on football mindset. I feel like all day once we're off the air, I'm gonna be like thinking football shit. Because now I'm like, that means the AFC West.
Sarah's gonna be in bed with you later. Like,
Oh, it's in Italy.
I bet he's thinking about banging someone else.
It's in Torino.
And Richard's trying to picture Russell Wilson in blue and orange.
I just
I bet you he's thinking about other women.
I bet he's thinking about other women.
Russell Wilson in orange.
Orange. It doesn't seem
Right. Nothing rhymes with orange.
It's unfurl. I mean, orange is my favorite color, but
I bet he's thinking about being with someone else.
Russell Wilson.
it's not really in his color wheel.
I think the orange complements the skin tone.
Yeah, it's like soft. He needs softer tones.
What,
like neutral, like more like beige.
I mean, dude,
Maybe it's powder blue.
not to get all sports nerd on you, but has there ever been a better division in NFL history as far as quarterbacks? Think about that just for 1 second.
Yeah,
the AFC West will now have Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, and Derek Carr.
Herbert.
Yo, and you know how we always talk about how nothing's promised in sports? Like you could be like, oh, they'll get back there. That Derek Jeter clip you showed me, I fucking love, because Jeter's like, the worst phrase in sports is we'll get him next year. Because who knows if you're ever gonna get another chance? Who knows? Like you have to wait a whole year.
Yeah. We always think that it's just
get him next
false
year.
Hope.
Yeah, get him
it's
next
not
year.
going to be the next same team next year, right? You're not guaranteed next year. You might not even make the playoffs next
tomorrow.
year.
Yeah, but you're not even guaranteed to
get him next year.
Exactly, but think about
Get him now.
Think about like everyone thought that Patrick Mahomes' path to the Super Bowl was like automatic for like 5 years.
But you're promised tonight.
He's in a division with one of the best young quarterbacks. Now, Russell Wilson and that Denver defense. So Russell Wilson, you know what Russell Wilson's getting into? Russell Wilson,
Blue and orange tight pants.
he's getting into orange tight pants. Tight pants. Russell Wilson, I'm not saying his career is reflecting itself, but while Russell Wilson is a star, what did Russell Wilson benefit from for the first 5 years or so of his career? The Legion of Boom. The best defense in the NFL with Seattle. Who's got possibly the best defense in the NFL right now?
Denver.
And what was Denver's problem? They didn't have offense. Russell Wilson and Denver could end up with a few changes and some, maybe a different playbook now that you got Russell Wilson. They could end up, Covino. They could end up being the team to beat in the AFC. Wild, man.
Dope.
All right, enough
He's a game
football.
changer
Who's the
for
wild
sure.
man now?
Who's the wild man now? Oh, my goodness. Where do people
Where the
go?
wild things are?
Well, yeah. By the way, Covino, how does Mahomes feel about Russ coming to the division?
I'm not feeding into that, Becker. Thank you.
Do it.
Nobody's monkey. Nope. I won't do it. No.
You know what? Yeah.
I won't do it.
Probably can't even do it.
You probably can't do it.
No, I
I heard
you know what?
Covino's Mahomes stinks now.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it.
Spontaneous.
No, I don't want to hear it anyway. Don't do it.
That's how I operate, man.
And I'll give Andrew Sims a shout out because he's right. As great as a quarterback Burrow is,
Burrow.
we talk about little windows. Who's to say
that they'll get back? Oh,
no, Joe Burrow to get the spot.
The path to get
Even
there.
you who don't care that much about football, you know more than you ever did because of Fox Sports now. For Joe Burrow to get back to the Super Bowl, even though they're a great young team, that means in the playoffs, he'd have to get past Josh Allen, Mahomes, Russell Wilson, all these young, great players. So, pretty crazy.
Let's hear your family update.
No, I'll tell you guys another.
What?
I can't because people are fucking yappy.
Andy Rivera knows what I'm talking about. I love that breakdown because it makes me think of that other song too. Hey, what song is that spot? You know what I'm talking about. That song we grew up dancing to.
Oh, what song is that?
Spot, I thought of you. I saw a meme that said, I don't snowboard. I don't skateboard. I charcuterie board.
Charcuterie board.
It's true. It's true. It's funny because
I feel that.
So, rando news of the day. I mean, Rich teased us, and you know.
Well, maybe I'll tell you in a little bit.
No, it's all good, man. We're good. Rando news.
No, there's before you get to random news, I wanted to throw something at you.
Is that
It's a dumb question.
Oh,
but I'm curious if, as an adult, you still feel this way. So yesterday, Emmy's brushing her teeth. Ben's getting his jammies on.
I like to move it.
That breakdown is hard, bro. That guy breaks it down, whoever that is. That other song, Pepas, has a similar sort of breakdown.
Oh, no. Yeah, we said it. Guaranteed we hear that in Vegas this weekend?
Guaranteed.
Pepas. So, I got to ask you just because I wonder if your mind changes as you get older. Because I feel like as a kid,
it's a great.
You'd be like, oh, I don't know. So Emmy's brushing her teeth. Ben's putting his pajamas on. I see a big fucking spider on the ceiling.
Nope.
Big spider on the ceiling. I go, Sarah, there's a big spider on the ceiling.
Nope. Like a camel spider?
Sarah, get it. And I go, Sarah.
I'm leaving. I'm out.
I'm with Emmy. I'm with Emmy. You want to get your spider? Because Sarah doesn't kill spiders. Because I would have just, I don't know, my whole life. I mean, I guess you're right. You're not supposed to kill spiders. But Sarah, like,
the gang will come after you.
Sarah puts them in a cup, covers it, and then walks to the porch and throws it in the front yard. Like, she's like, don't kill spiders. They
do.
They kill bad bugs. Yeah. So
it's true. It's true.
I was like, I was like, Sarah, I'm in the middle of helping Emmy get ready for bed. If you want me, I'm not going to kill the spider because you don't want me to kill spiders, but can you go get your cup and do your thing? She's like, yeah, I'll be right back. So
she's got a cup.
Whoa.
You have a spider cup.
Sarah's about to call you out.
All right,
you don't have a spider cup?
Oh, I do have a spider cup.
You have a spider cup?
I have a spider cup.
Okay, so what's the deal?
Sarah came in here like
cup.
Rich is lying about some shit.
Spider cup.
Go to your microphone.
Go to your microphone.
Sorry, his diaper.
Ew.
Stop poop one.
Not a poop one, right?
You were not in any way, shape, form were going to kill that spider. You're like, oh, Sarah, get it for me. I'm going to go be with you with Emmy.
What a weak ass.
You're not offer. There was no offer.
I kill spiders until you became the spider whisperer.
To get there and handle it.
By the way, bro, you don't brag about killing spiders too loud in the mean streets.
I
of
said
LA,
that.
bro.
The Cholos come after you.
Yeah, bro.
So,
like, what did he say about spider? Yo, I saw this guy. He said he killed him.
Spider Harrison.
You gotta watch what you say.
So Sarah has a spider cup.
Spider for the gringos locos. Spider's a very common, like, Vato gang name.
Oh, spider.
Oh, spider.
Spider.
So Sarah is a spider saver. So She goes to get a cup. I walk back into the hallway, and I was like, "Do you get the spider?" And all of a sudden, Sarah screams. She's like, "It's gone!" And now, I'm like annoyingly trying to find the spider. I'm like, it had to go somewhere.
It's gonna crawl.
And
in
now
your
I'm
throat.
like,
I mean, if you see one spider, there's
no,
plenty
it's Sarah.
others.
Sarah goes, no, there's probably hundreds of spiders in
Yeah.
this house, like in the walls, in the ceiling, in the attic, in the under. Like she goes, every apartment or house.
You're not going to find the same one.
Hope you don't sleep with your mouth open.
I mean, you might, but I doubt it.
And I was like, oh. And I was
Spider's
able,
gonna teabag
I was
Rich.
able to move on with my night. But let me ask you, if you're laying in bed, let's say you were laying in bed, and you saw a big ass spider like near your bed, and you missed it, you're like, where'd it go? Can you go right back to bed, or are you up?
Jordan could not,
Or
so
you
therefore
up?
I can't.
Are you up with the light on, being like, we got to find the spider
I'm like,
now?
Fuck that spider. Let's go to sleep. And then Jordan's like, again, and it becomes my problem. This has happened plenty of times. Trust me.
I do not. I am like Sarah, where I used to hate. I hate spiders. I have slight arachnophobia, so I used to kill them, but now I try and scoop them up and get them out of the house. I feel bad.
But Spot, if you and Kristen
They're
are
so
laying in
innocent.
bed, and all of a sudden there's a spider on the wall, and you're like, babe, stay right there. And by the time you get back with like try to kill it or capture it, you're like, where'd it go?
I don't give a shit. I'm so lazy. I'm like this.
Cool.
Kristen's the spider killer.
Would you at least look around for it, or would you be like, oh, I guess it went away? Like, guess it went away? Like,
Yeah.
guess it went
Jordan
away to
makes
me.
me-
I can't do the whole guess it went away if it's by my bed. Now, if it's on the wall and I'm in the living room, I'm like, fuck it. I guess I'll. But
You
if
just made
I
me think of the weakest story. So this one spider, right? I was trying to like, let's go to bed. I can't until we get it. So we get out of
Jen
bed.
said, hell no.
So
I gotta find that shit.
Get out of bed, right? And I, you know, because I couldn't reach it. It was like high, so I poked it and it fell down, right? And it scampered behind the nightstand. Hurry up, get it! So now I got all this pressure and I'm frantically trying to get it just because I want to go to bed.
Yeah.
So I moved the nightstand real quick, and without fail, this thing that says like dream or like live your dreams that Jordan's grandma gave her went falling off the nightstand because I frantically moved it to get the spider.
It broke.
And then here I am trying to be the hero. I went from hero to zero.
Live your dream no more.
But I killed the spider. But I can't. It was a no-win scenario. I was trying to get the spider, and I ended up breaking her little dream. What do you call it?
Dream catcher, a little dream.
Oh, doodad. How do you do? Knick-knack.
If you're cold, they're cold. But don't worry, they're already in your house.
Yeah, it's not like it's a tarantula.
I know.
But it's not
let it
worth
be.
it.
You know what? No,
Let
we
the
don't.
spider live. Who cares?
I've always.
There's more of them.
Not that I'm cold blooded, but
Spider.
I've killed bugs my whole life.
Spiders kill the other bugs. You know the rules.
Yeah, Sarah doesn't kill spiders, and Sarah doesn't kill
I'll kill 'em.
every night when we open the balcony.
Paul McCartney
we-
wrote "Let It Be" about spiders. Did you know that?
Let it be. Yeah, he did.
Let it be.
When we open our patio door to let Piper go to the bathroom outside before bed, I have to open and close the door real quick because crickets will jump in our house. And every day or
Crickets are
so,
the
I see a cricket.
worst.
And Sarah's like, it's bad luck. And I think you said bad luck to kill crickets. So again, we got to get our fucking bug cup.
I never said that shit.
Sarah covers it, paper underneath, walks to the front porch. Like, I'm like, I was like, yo, if a cricket's dumb enough to come in this house, in my mind, kill it. But apparently it's bad luck to kill crickets.
Yeah, it's bad luck to kill crickets in your house.
So I don't kill crickets and
But I've
spiders.
killed-
Apparently I'm the most sympathetic guy on earth now.
They're hard to catch though, and I had a cricket because I caught a cricket.
You ever see that cricket named Steven Seagal?
I did. I caught a cricket and I left it under a cup in my living room, and then it got out and it lived in spite because it's spiteful. Lived in my kitchen for about a month.
And all you heard?
All I heard every night.
Can I tell you? I looked up recently the lifespan of a cricket because much like Spot, I was like, there's a cricket somewhere in my kitchen in a vent or something. I'm like, this motherfucker. I'm like, all right, what is it? Well, like it has like a couple months lifespan. So I'm like, all right, how long I have to deal with it?
And I would go in to try and find it because it was loud. So I thought it was out on the counter. And then the second you get anywhere within like 5 feet of it, it shuts
Stops.
up.
Yeah. And then you're like,
And you're like, where the fuck did
Well,
like Joe Pesci trying to kill a spider.
there's not
Or
a lot
cricket.
in the news today.
oh,
Not a lot.
crickets in the house.
Crickets are in the news, but we just announced.
Are we
Russell-
introducing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot, but sure. Russell Wilson.
News. Oh,
He's
is
a
that
Bronco.
is it sports news?
No. I mean,
Sports news. Rando. Generic sports images.
So it's
Let's talk
International
sports.
Women's Day. Shout out to the women. We love women. We already talked about Russell Wilson. Russell Westbrook continues to be in the news. It's kind of sad what's happening to Russell Westbrook. He's getting eaten alive in Los Angeles.
It's also National Proofreading Day. Let's not neglect our proofreaders just because women are taking over. It's also National Be Nasty Day.
Oh, yeah.
Let's take that and go with it.
Miss Jackson,
It's
if
also
you're nasty.
National Oregon Day.
Ooh, girl, you nasty.
Shout out to our Oregonians. It's also National Organize Your Home Office Day. Perfect for the pandemic.
That's why I put my little thing here.
I noticed that. It's also National Peanut Cluster Day. Let's not forget the delicious tastiness of a chocolatey peanut cluster.
Oh, by the way, Jordan just hit me up to make me feel worse.
Women trying to take it all away.
Yeah, speaking of women, she goes, no, the thing you broke trying to kill that spider was from my grandpa who died and gave it to me, not my grandma.
The spider's dead.
But I killed the spider. That is sad.
Grandpa would be proud.
Dream. You crushed. I really broke her dreams. I really crushed her dreams.
By the way, tomorrow's National.
So sad. Broke her
National
little statue.
Meatball Day.
But I glued it up.
My grandfather gave me this
I
as
know.
a memento. Oh,
I know. I feel
you're
so
the worst
shitty.
person.
Guys,
I
I'm
glued
gonna,
it, though.
I'm gonna need off tomorrow. Just so
Why?
you know, I might have to call in sick. It's National Meatball Day tomorrow, so
When he makes some meatballs.
I'm gonna be.
Is it really?
I gotta take
I
off.
want to watch you eat them.
No, I'm gonna be off tomorrow.
So you mean
Go-
I'm getting paid
Sorry,
from
guys.
Sirius XM tomorrow?
Meatball day.
I get paid in meatballs. So
I want to see you eat them, Steve.
International Women's Day. Give your woman a hug. All the women in your life. That's cool. Thank you. What would we be without the women in our lives?
That is true.
Single men.
Russell Wilson. Talked about him. Denver Bronco.
Free to smack some ass.
Where does the rest of the league unfurl? We'll figure it out.
Gonna be exciting.
Obviously, the domino effect started with Aaron Rodgers, who's staying with Green Bay for 4 years. Russell Westbrook, who I often have to, when we're talking sports, I always have to get my Russell right. I'm like, Russell, we're talking basketball, Westbrook.
You have to
Sounds
think- you have to
obvious,
think about
but I just, you just never want to say the wrong name.
Yeah,
'cause
Wilson, Westbrook.
They're
too
always
close
in
to each other.
they're always in this, in the
I know
news.
what Covino's saying though, because I do. It's like a weird thing. You're right, because there's a part of you
There's
when you
been
say
times
when
where-
you say Russ,
There's been times where you've been talking about Russell Westbrook, and I'm thinking
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson because I'm not really paying attention or whatever, So it happens.
You know why? Because Russell's not a popular name, and it just so happens that two athletes that are in the news quite a bit are Russ, and people will say Russell, and I get it. I get the odd. It sounds like I wouldn't get it, but I get what you're saying because I always have to double think it too. Like Russell, okay,
Russell Westbrook
it's also a Russell W.
is in the news for sad reasons. The press is killing the guy. The fans are killing the guy because he's not meeting his own expectations, right? And he was first to say, well, what do you know about my expectations? But he has set the bar so high, and he's just not playing that well. But it's gotten so bad that his own home fans are turning on him, and they've been. That's no news, but Russell Westbrick is what they're calling him. Westbrick, and bitch ass and all this other shit, right? It's really unfair. Look, there's a lot of pros of being a professional athlete, obviously. Making bank, living the life, slapping ass cheeks. But you're also ridiculed. You got to deal. It's like, hey, man, I'm a person too. And there's a guy right in the front row calling me a bitch. It doesn't even make sense, but it happens, right? And that's being kind. They hear a lot worse.
Oh yeah.
So Westbrook is hearing a lot of shit, and he's being a professional, and he's just dealing with it. But now it's to the point where he says he doesn't want to bring his family to the crypto.com arena. He doesn't want to bring his family to any of the games, especially his kids. He says his kids, and this is where it's gone too far. So now he's coming at people because he's saying he sees his kid at school, and his little kid got a jersey or something, and he's proud to put on the Westbrook name. Like, I'm a Westbrook. Very proud. He said he just realized it recently. He went to a father-mother PTA sort of meeting or something. What is it called? Open house. He went to an open house recently or something with his kid. And he realized like how proud his little kid is to be Westbrook.
Great.
He goes, do you think I'm going to take my kid who's proud to be Westbrook and have other people disrespecting his name in front of me? Westbrook, West this, West that. He's like, no. Like, it's just wrong. At a certain point, it's just wrong. And this is my family. And he's gotten real serious about it. And it's really sad, kind of. Because, like, here we are. Like, we see them as athletes. But, like, we're shitting on them and their families and their legacies and their names. So now he's, like, coming out like, yo, put respect on my name. Like, that's my name.
Yeah. I mean, the interaction he had with the reporter, though, I mean, that I saw like a week ago, Russell Westbrook sort of brings on some of the...
Russell
Westbrook brings on some of the... Because he's very...
Russell Westbrook.
There was a clip from a week ago. It's a little old news now, but reporters were asking him about his expectations. And he's like, what do you know about my expectations? And it's like, I bet your expectations were not to be the 10 seed. I'm sure your expectations were not to go join LeBron and Anthony Davis and be 7 games under 500. I'm sure you thought you were building a super team and you might not make the playoffs. So Russell Westbrook played it off like, you don't know my expectations. And it's like, come on, bro. I know your expectations weren't this.
He's sort of pulling the heartstrings, tugging the heartstrings of like, now you're messing with my family, and he's not going to deal with it.
Like, people are asking, well,
I'll show you.
Some people are asking, what did he do? The answer for the non-basketball fans, he's just a star player that's not playing like a star player, and he gets paid like $40 million, and the fans are like, yo, you stink.
Well, he's the caliber of player that could take over a game.
Is this a situation where he can give it but can't take it? And I know when families come into play,
dude,
it's
like,
not...
I kind of feel him on that.
Kosher, but like...
It's like, I could take it, but now you're like...
If he's
dragging my family down?
Right, but if he's throwing out shit to other people, but now people are throwing shit at him and he can't take it, that's one thing.
I sent you the link if you want to play some of the clip, because you do feel for him a little bit. But again, there's a lot of perks that come with being a professional athlete. He goes, I don't even want to bring my kids to the game because I don't want them to hear people calling their dad nicknames for no reason. He's like, yo, man, this is a game. And, you know, you're really bringing me down, bringing my family down.
Let's hear it, Spot.
You know, for one, you know, I 100% stand behind my wife and how she's feeling, because it's not just about this year. Right now, she's reached a point, and my family has reached a point to where it's really weighing on them. And it's very unfortunate, just for me personally, because this is just a game. This is just a game. This is not end all be all. And when it comes to basketball, I don't mind the criticism of missing and making shots, but the moment it becomes where you know, my name is getting shamed, it becomes a issue. I've kind of let it go in the past, you know, just because it never really bothered me. But I think
he's saying, but now it's hurting his family.
It really kind of hit me the other day. Honestly, I was me and my wife was at teacher parent conference for my son, and the teacher told me, she's like, Noah, he's so proud of his last name. He writes it everywhere. He writes it on everything. He tells everybody, he walks around and says, I'm Westbrook. That's his last name. And I kind of sat there in shock, and it hit me like, damn, like I can no longer allow people, you know, for example, Westbrook to me is now shaming. Like, it's shaming my name. It's my legacy for my kids. It's a name that means more, not just to me, but to my wife, to my mom, my dad, the ones that kind of paved the way for me. And that's just one example, man. That kind of hit myself and my wife in a place where... He
goes on and on about it. I don't want to bore you,
I
but I want to know, is Spot right? Or do you feel like, stop being a bitch? Or do you feel like, yeah, he's making a point?
I mean,
I kind of feel bad for
like
the guy
in between, because it's like, I don't go by the mentality of like, he gets paid a lot of money, so like, shut up.
So he doesn't want to take his family to the games anymore.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, but then again,
and now he's telling people,
when you're a star player, you're sort of making a deal that sort of goes with it, right? It's like, watch the Tom Brady documentary. Tom Brady talks a lot in the documentary about how the media says all this stuff, and it bothered him, and he got to a point where he's like, I can't let it bother me, because he realized the media has to talk. I don't know, man. You're Russell Westbrook, and you make $40 million a year, and you have created generational wealth for your family for generations to come.
Yeah, that kid. I don't think that kid's gonna care when he grows up. And
Yeah,
just,
I mean, like
every pair of Jordans he wants.
Unless people are taunting, his kids.
Sad though.
When a fucking Lamborghini rolls out at his Sweet 16.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, yeah, I get that. It's
Shaming his name is the thing, and he's coming at people because you know what happens. You know, the minute I heard his take on this, I was like, oh, he just lit the fire for so many opposing fans.
no.
They're gonna call him Westbrook left and right. And what's he gonna do? Fight everybody?
Chico
because
saying
he is stopping, dude. He's stopping games, and he's like, you hear him like the mic's picking up, like put respect on my name. Don't say. He's calling people out for saying it.
Well,
now.
Chico said, "Well, stop embarrassing your family then."
Yeah.
Andrew hit us up saying, "Yes, there's bigger problems in the world, but making a lot of money doesn't mean you could just be disrespected."
That's what I'm saying too. Like, aren't we better than that? I mean, would you do that? He's still a man.
Cheer and jeer, but to mock someone's name and their kids. But are they doing that, or is he taking it a little sensitive?
Well, it's from that clip. It sounds like they're not speaking poorly of his family. He's defending his name.
His name.
He's making it about his family. It's not like people are like, yeah, your kid's ugly and your wife's a hoe. He's making it like, oh, you're tarnishing my name, therefore
he's missing a lot of shots.
Family.
He's missing a lot of shots, so they're calling him Westbrook instead of Westbrook. It's sort of just a shitty nickname.
And what's going to happen with his kids when they grow up?
It has nothing to do with his family. He is playing a little bit of a victim here.
He's definitely playing victim card, but I kind of felt him a little bit. But he's definitely taking a different
It's
approach.
like your
and
family-
he also just gave a free pass for every opposing hater to now call him Westbrook. They're going to come at him with the Westbrook.
Your family, when they're on their lavish vacation in the off season, I don't think it cares that fans are calling you Westbrook as long as the paycheck clears.
Hey, would you call him Westbrook to his face?
I think
Think about
it
it.
hurt.
Or even in the game, I
But
wouldn't
hold
call
on,
him.
feelings.
Call him that.
nothing
Listen.
more than feelings.
Feelings still come into play. Listen,
Of course, I get angry.
there are times I'll read something someone says, and I'm like,
I want to tell people to fuck off.
and
And you realize they're just having a bad day, and you need to look the
and
other
then I'm
way.
like, well, they pay for us, they're supporting us, they're here with us, so I'll take it. But
That's
I
it.
do, in my mind, I'm like, I do want them to know I think they're a jerk off, but
I'm
I
not.
don't
No,
say
hold on.
anything.
I'm not going to name names, but I love, because you know me, I'm spiteful, and I love winning fights. Someone came at me in a text message, and I went back at them, and I felt really bad about it. And I said that. I'm like, sorry, I said that. I feel really bad about it. Let's work to be better people. And the person responded to me. They're like, you know what? I just get on you for things that I'm not good at.
Like a revelation with each other.
And I feel like, most of the time it's just people projecting their own insecurities on you, and you might be in a bad place, they might be in a bad place. You're both human, so things like that happen. So I think you just need to realize it's just the way it is, and look the other way, and just brush it off. And I know it's easier said than done.
It is, especially when you're talking about one person.
Right.
Westbrook has
Yeah.
thousands of
Like,
people
there- of
coming at
course,
him
there are-
under a
it's-
microscope, and his comments are very interesting. And when you think about it, and even Rocket Dog hit us up just now. He goes, "Just a game. It's your freaking job that you're paid millions to do and care about."
Right.
So people are taking that in all different sorts of ways. I sort of felt for him a little bit because he wants to do his family proud, and here they are mocking his name. That's his dad. That's his son. There's more. It's deeper than that. He's saying I could take it, but it's wrong when you're disrespecting it on that level.
But there is a line. It's not directed at his children. It's not directed at his family. Like when people mock you, Covino, they're not mocking your daughter.
Yeah, but as a
or
parent, right?
Jordan,
Think
or
of this little
your
kid.
ex,
Yeah,
they're
but-
mocking you, and that as a reflection is not being direct. But if they come out and actually say
You're little Noah Westbrook, right? You think your dad's a hero.
that's for his dad to present.
No, but you think your dad's a hero. My dad's in the NBA. He's probably telling the kids in school. My dad's
My
in the
dad's
NBA.
one of
My
the top
dad's
75
Lakers.
players of all time.
And then
Your
he
dad's
goes,
a bum.
And then he goes to the game, and everyone's fucking calling him Westbrook, shitting on him, booing him. He's seeing his dad fight with fans. Like, wait, we're in LA. I thought everyone loved my dad. You don't think there's a little bit something sad there? Yeah. And he's like, Dad, what happened? Why is everyone? I thought everybody loved you, Dad. Don't worry, son. Now I used to teach his son, people are jerk offs. Why does everybody gotta be a jerk off?
I'm gonna put up better numbers.
Those are his those are his fans. By the way, we're talking about
better
people
numbers.
in LA.
Put up better numbers.
It's a little sad. And people fail to think of it that way. I get it. I do get it. I get both sides. I just never thought of it the way that Westbrook was expressing. So anyway.
Any other news alerts before we get out?
Yeah, Russell Westbrook in the news. And Rich, this will blast your mind, I think. I don't know all the details, but scientists like me and Rich are really busy at trying to figure out how to revive the brain. Like, what is death?
I thought you meant socks.
No, that's our experiment. Yeah. We talked about it first hour if you missed any of this. And they have pig brains that they work on. Pigs are highly intelligent beasts. And they partially revive the brain hours after death. Whoa. So they're trying to figure out, well, what does that mean for people? Scientists have restored cellular function in 32 pig brains that have been dead for hours. So here's a pig dead. Dead. Opening up a new avenue in treating brain disease and shaking our definition of brain death to its core. So, I mean, I could go on and on and on. You want to hear more about it?
I feel like the human brain's a
announced
little bit
on
more
Wednesday.
complex.
Bro, brains are brains, bro. We think we're better? How are we any better? We're smarter,
we're better
but
than
it's
a
still
pig,
a brain. But it's still the same shit.
Do you eat out of a trough and wallow in your own shit?
Do you oink?
Do you oink?
Researchers at Yale University.
Do you
School
taste
of
delicious?
Medicine
You taste
some
delicious
eggs?
with eggs and cheese on a fucking everything bagel?
Maybe you do.
devised a
I don't
system
know.
roughly analogous to a dialysis machine called Brain X that restores circulation and oxygen flow to a dead brain.
Well, here's the question then, Covino. I know you might not have the answer because you're not a pig brain surgeon, but if they're reviving a brain dead person, are you just seeing brain activity? Because there's people that are brain dead that they could probably create activity again, but doesn't mean that they are. They might be vegetables.
Well, they're really excited about it because it helps us better understand, us scientists, better understand how to treat people who have had heart attacks and lost normal blood flow to the brain. So they've revived dead brains in 32 pigs. Seems like
almost seems like
pretty
a sleeper,
interesting.
like a sleeper.
Yeah,
What is that
it also
movie?
raises the question again, like what is
Clocker.
death?
Clocker,
Like,
something
all right,
like
we gave this guy, we pumped him up for fucking an hour. He's flatline. He's dead. Is he really dead?
Well, that's the question that people never know.
Like, what if you went? What if you went an hour and 10 minutes?
Spot, you've talked
by the
about
way,
this.
I have a story, a personal story.
Well, that's the thing.
You talked about this as your family as a lot of
when your heart stops, your brain is still functioning. There's different systems in the body that have to work together in order to keep you alive.
This story, this research also opens up that question again. Well, what is death? If they could bring it back, and here's the harsh reality. Jordan's sister's friend. One of Jordan's sister's best friend.
Oh, sorry. This is probably
Wears through her
the worst.
socks.
Probably the worst joke ever. Continue.
Yeah, it
is a
when
man
you hear
bear
it.
pig. It's a man bear pig.
It's a man.
It's bad to hear it. One of Jordan's sister's best friends.
Okay.
Dad caught COVID.
Yeah. I don't like where this
Dude
is
was in a
going.
coma for like 3 months. They were like, he's dead. Like, we're gonna have to die. The guy is fucking alive now. They were gonna pull the plug on this guy, and the family, just because they're religious and shit, like, no, we have faith, like, keep him alive.
And the doctors are like, why are they not pulling the plug?
They were like this guy's dead. They were like, everyone called this guy out, and I stopped asking about it. Like, oh, that guy died yet? Like, no, he's still he's still alive, but
Still
they're saying he's
fighting.
dead and whatever. I don't know.
So,
Like, they just haven't pulled the plug on
How
him
long
yet.
was he on a machine?
3 months.
Damn it.
Dude, all of a sudden I'm pretty sure Jordan's gonna hit me up. It was 4 months.
I told Kristen my cutoff is a month.
It's like that movie.
That's my point.
It's like that movie that's streaming again.
But
on,
everyone was calling this guy,
I don't wanna-
calling quits on him.
I don't want to move to.
He's
I don't-
alive.
because there comes a point. They keep you in a hospital and they monitor you, but there comes a point where you have to be moved to a long-term vent facility in order to be sustained on life. And you can live. And
It's
you
like
can
that
stay
Mark
there.
Ruffalo, Reese Witherspoon movie
Yeah.
that's streaming again on Netflix. I think it's on
Oh,
Netflix or
Just
Hulu.
Like Heaven.
Just Like Heaven, where Reese Witherspoon's in an accident. They think she's like dead. They want to pull the plug, but her ghost is talking to Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Great romantic comedy.
Yeah, it is really great. You don't like. I always just said to Kristen, I'm like, I want a fair shot, but I don't want to be on a ventilator for the rest of my life. I don't want to go to a long-term care facility. So when the hospital is ready to ship me off, that's when you pull the plug.
So
now
what is
I
that?
have-
3 months?
I think it's a month. I think it's like a few weeks.
I'd want more than a month. I would say give me 3. If you like had a
Because this guy lived
if
3
you had
months.
if you had a terrible accident, I would never want to be like not there but there for my whole life. Like you don't want to be that person that doesn't communicate for decades and then finally dies. I think you pull the plug after. I think 3 months is fair. I think because a month. If you, what if Spot? What if?
Dude, doctors put this guy on comfort care without asking the family. They just went ahead and did it, which is the equivalent to pulling the plug. They thought this dude was done.
I assume
And
they
after
did.
3 months, and I'm not saying
Did they check brain
a
activity?
coma is the same thing as
Brain
being
dead.
brain dead. I'm just saying, what is death then? Because they thought this dude was done. He was toast.
Death?
After
Baby,
3
don't
months,
kill me.
he pulled one of these. Oh, I'm back. He's
Like,
back, and I'm like what?
Steven Seagal in Hard to Kill.
Yeah.
Like Kill Bill.
So anyway, the fact that they're able to revive these pigs
Pussy Wagon.
who've been dead for hours
Kill Bill.
just makes you question, well, what is death and what does that mean for us? I saw other articles, Spot, about this.
Right.
The one I just read was from Nat Geo, but the other articles speculated on you could essentially, it makes you speculate what is death, but it also makes you speculate like they could just keep a brain living.
So if you can keep a
endlessly.
brain living, does that mean you're like permanently dreaming and active? Like
if you're
like in that movie that TV show Upload on Amazon?
I'm trying to find the original
So
article,
if-
but they
okay,
posed the question.
If you're
that made me
conscious,
say-
if your
you're-
conscious can permanently be there,
Right.
It's that movie, that show Upload that you've never watched, have you?
if your brain
On Amazon?
if your brain dies, right?
Yeah.
Your heart can keep beating. Like if you have no like active brain thought,
Which is why heart
your
transplants.
heart can keep beating. If your lungs fail, you can use a ventilator to keep yourself going, but your brain and heart might still be good. If your heart goes, I think you're done. Because if without your heart beating, that's what's sustaining your life. It's unless they hook you up to a heart-lung machine, the thing that's pumping blood through your body and oxygen and all that stuff, that's what's sustaining your life.
But where do you think your life's really captured? In your brain, no?
But right, but it like I feel like your
But
heart
what if you
can
die?
function
What if
without
you
your
die?
brain.
What if you die in Upload?
Yeah. Oh.
Is true. In the
Or,
TV show
Transcendence?
in the TV show Upload
Transcendence.
on Amazon,
Yeah.
it's like based slightly in the future where when you die, your consciousness goes to like a heaven type of place, and you can still communicate with like your loved ones, but you're not alive. Like your body's not there, but like you almost could pop up on like a fucking screen.
Well,
That's cool.
Read more about it because, like I said, they do further explain about. Well, does this mean that they could just keep brains alive like endlessly?
I just feel like the human brain, like synapses and connections and all that stuff, are a little bit more intricate, and the slightest thing that's off doesn't allow the brain to function. So I don't
What
force.
death mean?
But like you can sustaining tissue and cells is one thing, but functional cognitive thought is a completely different thing.
It's wild.
So
Have you seen Upload, by the way?
Tissue versus thought are two different things.
Have you seen Updog?
What's up, Doc?
No, not much. What's up, dog? What's up with you?
Good one. Jim Ramsey loved it. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, $10 million man Dave Castillo. He said Hadaway's next song is "What Is Death? Baby, don't hurt me."
I said that. I sang that.
Mr. Wheeler, what's up, Mr. Wheeler?
But yeah, no, listen, guys, it
And
is
enjoy your women.
interesting.
Hey, by the way, a special thanks to all the women that support our show.
Yeah.
Like we have lots of awesome women that hang with us and put up with us and laugh at our stupid jokes and support us, and every single one of you. I appreciate you. What is that, Spot?
I was just playing around. Show's over.
My tinfoil hat.
Spot made us bald. Thank you.
You're bald and I have a tinfoil hat.
Thank you to all the women that support our show and all the women in our lives, and my moms and Jordan and Melody and Sarah and Kristen and Emmy Bear and everybody else. Thank
I
you.
assume
Shout out to Phyllis.
that if you're in a coma,
Of course,
for
a big shout out to
if you're in a
Phyllis.
coma for years and years and years, all you need is like probably a few weeks of training, like Steven Seagal, and you're back to normal, right? Is that the most unrealistic scene in a movie ever? That Steven Seagal was in a coma for 7 years, and he was able to train to be a martial arts expert after like a week of no muscle atrophy, nothing. The guy was just
Kill Bill.
he was just good to go in like a week.
Sat in a car and made her big toe wiggle. Based on the teachings of Pai Mei.
Hard to kill.
Kill Bill's so great.
Kill Bill is probably better than Hard to Kill.
Way better.
But Hard to Kill might be Steven Seagal's best movie. All right.
Wasn't there a movie where he was suspended between two airplanes and
That
rammed them
was
together?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No, Jean-Claude Van Damme had his legs spread between two 18-wheelers, remember? And he did a split.
Oh, Chuck Norris did the planes.
Was it? No.
No, he's right.
who
Steven Seagal did it, and he died. It was a movie where Steven Seagal died within the first 10 minutes, but he was outside in the air, like pulling two planes together.
No.
Yep. I'm telling you, he's right. It's a movie where you're like, what?
I think he smashes two planes together.
Planes?
That's pretty.
Executive decision?
Yeah.
Pretty unrealistic.
Well, now, I don't know what's more unrealistic. The fact that he pulled planes together or the fact that after 7 years in a coma, a week later after training, he kills all the bad guys.
Can we just watch?
Want to just watch him?
Can we just watch him fighting?
This is unrealistic too. Where he touches people and they collapse. We're watching Steven Seagal fight.
Oh man.
Kenneth is saying it never happened. It's Mandela effect.
What?
This is the laziest shit I've ever seen. It's like me doing karate on the weekend.
Steven Seagal's a badass.
Yeah, he is.
All right. Well, anyway, it's National Women's Day, not Steven Seagal Day.
Nah, it should be.
Well, hey, have a great Tickle Sack Taco Tuesday, and we'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Until then, arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye.